God shall say, and speak thou unto us all that the Lord our God shall speak unto thee. And we will hear it and do it. And the Lord heard the voice of your words when ye spake unto me. And the Lord said unto me, I have heard the voice of the words of this people, which they have spoken unto thee. They have well said all that they have spoken. Oh, that there were such an heart in them, that they would fear me, and keep all my commandments always, that it might be well with them, and with their children forever. Go, say to them, get you into your tents again.
It's about to come up now,
But as for thee, stand thou here by me, and I will speak unto thee all the commandments, and the statutes, and the judgments, which thou shalt teach them, that they may do them in the land which I give them to possess it. Ye shall observe to do therefore as the Lord your God hath commanded you. Ye shall not turn aside to the right hand or to the left. Ye shall walk in the ways which the Lord your God hath commanded you, that ye may live.
Where you at?
Verse 33, Deuteronomy chapter 5, verse 33.
Right.
From the top again. Ye shall walk in the ways which the Lord your God hath commanded you, that ye may live, and that it may be well with you, and that ye may prolong your days in the land which ye shall possess.
Right. Right. And let me say something. Let me clear up something that I said probably 10 minutes ago. The person that asked about did we worship Yahweh Shai, I wasn't saying not to ask. I want to make sure I say this. I wasn't saying not to ask your questions, because if you got a question, we got no problem going through the questions and, adding to it or clearing up any misthought or misconception. We got no problem doing that. I was just saying, when you throw the question out and then you pull it back and we don't see it, but everybody else sees it, it throws things into people's heads. So if you put your question, you can just leave it. We'll answer the question. There's no dumb question. A question is a question. Now, if you're on there throwing out statements which you didn't do, because you have people that'll come on the chat and they'll say, "Y'all worship Christ," and it's like, no, we don't. Or y'all got Christ as an idol. No, we don't. That's one thing if you're making statements, and it's another thing if you're asking questions.
Yeah.
I just don't want there to be a question put out there and then it's deleted, and then everybody else sees it, and then we don't get a chance to see it and correct the thought process or answer the question. All right, so just want to make that clear. I wasn't saying not to ask questions. No, definitely. You know how we get down out here in Houston? Same thing in VA. They be doing straight question classes all week. So feel free to ask questions. If I'm just saying, be careful what you say. If you're going to make a statement and throw out any accusation, be careful, because you don't want to be wrong in your statement. If you're making a statement, make sure that it's factual. But a lot of people, for the most part, when they come on with their statements, they ain't making no factual statements. So that's all I was saying with that. I don't want you to think that we're saying that your question was wrong or you're going to throw somebody off with your question. You won't throw anybody off with your questions as long as we're able to answer them. Yeah, so that's all I was saying with that. I hope that's clear. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 1.
Right.
Now these are the commandments, the statutes, and the judgments which the Lord your God commanded to teach you.
And we apologize for the technical difficulties.
Yeah.
The software that we use to broadcast. We paid a pretty penny for it, but you know how it is with software, computers. They're not 100% reliable, man.
Wow.
Technology is beautiful when it works, but it's crappy
When it
you
don't.
pay all that money and it don't. So we apologize. We appreciate y'all bearing with us through it. We know we have the same issues here in the VA. The feed falls, but we try to get it back as soon as possible to get y'all up to speed with where we're at. So we didn't get too far. You missed a couple of verses. We're in Deuteronomy, the 6th chapter, the 1st verse. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 1. Now these are the commandments, the statutes, and the judgments which the Lord your God commanded to teach you, that ye might do them in the land whither ye go to possess it, that thou mightest fear the Lord your God, to keep all his statutes and his commandments, which I command thee, thou and thy son, and thy son's son, all the days of thy life, and that thy days may be prolonged. Hear therefore, O Israel, and observe to do it, that it may be well with thee, and that ye may increase mightily, as the Lord God of thy fathers has promised thee, in the land which that floweth with milk and honey. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord.
Right, and this is the Israelite credo. Right? What is it? Shema Yasha'Allah, Yahweh Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh Achad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord is one Lord. All right, this is the Israelite credo. So whenever we start street speaking, we start at Deuteronomy 6 and 4. Hear, O Israel. That way they know who we talking to. Right? We talking to Israel, our people, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. So
you got the book. What is it? The Lost Tribes in the
Promised Lands. Yep. I was gonna say it too.
Oh man,
Yeah.
When they came to the Reubenite, they came to the Native American, and he said that when they came to the Native American, he said this.
That's how they greeted them. Yeah, that's how they greeted
each other like that. And then that tripped Columbus out. And then when he heard that, and then the Native American was like, "Yeah, I'm from the lost tribe. I'm from the tribe of Reuben, and the tribe of Joseph are on the islands, because they came to Florida." They came to Florida, and then the Native Americans said, the Reubenites said that the tribe of Joseph, which is Ephraim and Manasseh, the Puerto Ricans and the Cubans were on the islands.
Yeah.
Were on the islands close by.
Just more, you get that Lost Tribe in Promised Lands, very good book. Ronald A. Sanders is the author. Yeah, it talks about how they greeted them. They hit them with Shema Yasha'Allah, Yahweh Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh Achad. The thing was, Columbus didn't have no Hebrew translators, so he didn't know what they were saying. So you know how they be like, how? They say, like the Indians say how? Remember that you learned, like, they learned how. No, they were saying Yahweh. You see that? So Columbus went back, got his translators from all different languages. And it came that they were speaking ancient Hebrew. Yeah, and then that's how that went. So just showing that, how would the Native Indians know how to speak ancient Hebrew? Or any Hebrew if they weren't the people that left in 722. If they weren't those people that it says in Second Esdras took boats to a new land to keep the law, how would they know how to speak ancient Hebrew? Why would they have the symbolism that we wear today on their garments that we wear today? Why would they have that same symbolism? Why would they have fringes on their garments?
Taino Indians.
Taino, yeah. Why would they keep, like, you read about man, I forget the one that lived with the natives.
James Adair.
James Adair. Why would he say they was keeping the Passover and tabernacles, and why would they be doing these things if they weren't the people? So just a little bit more info to show that, again, that Revelations 12:10 that the brother was asking about, the earth helped the woman, right? And swallowed up the lies. Because that's what it is, man. All these misconceptions, and the natives ain't this and the natives ain't that, and they're Mongolian and they're this, and they came through the Bering Strait. Prove it. Can't prove it. Now, we saying that every single Native American, every single solitary person that came over on them boats was an Israelite? No. We saying that because not every single black person that came over on slavery was an Israelite. You got to go watch that New Roots. Chicken George, I keep bringing it up. Chicken George's daddy was a white man. He slept with a black slave woman, had a black baby, or excuse me, a black looking baby, but that baby was an Edomite. Then that same Edomite man that looked like a Judite slept with another Judite woman and had babies that looked black, but they were white. So, and they were slaves. They made them be in the field doing slave work. They didn't give a damn if his daddy was white. His own son, his own dad sold him to the Britons, to the British, because he lost a chicken fight. Called him a nigger in front of all of them. So every single black man, crispy or not, that came on them boats was not an Israelite. Just like every single Mexican in Mexico ain't an Israelite. Every single Puerto Rican on Puerto Rico ain't an Israelite. Every single Jamaican in Jamaica ain't a Benjamite or an Israelite. Because you got Chinese people, you got white people, you got Elam out there. You got all nations out there. So we gotta be we can't be so narrow-minded. All right, to think like we're saying every single dark person that came on them boats or whatever the case may be. No. All right, go ahead, read on.
Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 5. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, with all thy soul, with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thy heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
That's where he ends?
No, he ends at this verse. My bad.
Oh.
And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and thou shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 8. And it says, And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes. And thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house and on thy gates. And it shall be when the Lord thy God shall have brought thee into the land which he sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give thee great and goodly cities, which thou buildest not, and houses full of all gold, full of all good things, which thou fillest not, and wells dig, which thou diggest not, vineyards and olive trees, which thou plantest not. When thou shalt have eaten and be full, then beware, lest thou forget the Lord, which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage. Thou shalt fear the Lord thy God, and serve him, and shalt swear by his name. You shall not go after other gods, or of the gods of the people which are round about you. For the Lord thy God is a jealous God among you.
See that? So going back to Lewis's question about why did they do it? Why do we do anything? Why do we think about it? You'll have oh, you're sitting right here. I'm looking at Lewis. I'm like, where's Lewis? You're right here. Think about it. The Most High will get you, he'll give you a house, he'll give you a car, he'll give you a rib, he'll give you food, and what you looking at? The next man's dwelling. Like, man, he got that. Well, I want that car. Right. I want that food. Like, you got all what you need sufficient for you, but you peeking in the next plate like, man, wait a minute, where's my steak? I got chicken. Right. I wanted steakums, right? Like, I wanted this type of car. He got that, then I want that. Like, but that's man caring about things that he shouldn't care about. You're not looking at his own estate and saying, whoa, wait a minute, the Most High is giving me sufficient what is for me. So if you look at these gods, we were, again, looking at these gods like, wait a minute. So I could burn incense. I could eat what I want. I could think how I want. I could be the same person. Right. Ain't it Christianity? Why do you think our people don't leave out of Christianity? They ain't got to change. They ain't got to change, man. They can sit in the damn church and be a thug. You can sit in church and literally be a thug. Leave out of church, a thug. Go be a thug in the streets, and then go to church again. Ain't nobody gonna say a damn thing. Ain't nobody talking about pull your pants up. Ain't nobody talking about get your mind right. You could be a hoe in church. You could be you could prostitute in the church, right? Yeah. Outside the church, But ain't nobody saying, hey sis, keep your legs closed. Get your mind right. It's like, come as you are, stay as you are. So I'm going to choose that God.
Right.
I'm going to choose that God because ain't no punishment. It's all reward. It's all prosperity. Is Joel Osteen telling people to get right?
Wow.
He's telling them to get rich. But he ain't telling them to get right. TD Jakes ain't telling nobody to get right. Like, really? Like, you faggots can't show up. Don't show up to this congregation. Put that down before you show up. He ain't doing that. He's actually showing up to the gay parades talking about we got to ease up on our lesbian and homosexual brothers and sisters. They ain't my brothers and sisters till they change. Sorry. I ain't with that till they change. So they're not teaching that. So it's easy to go to the God of Christianity because you ain't got to sacrifice nothing.
Right.
You ain't got to give nothing up. You can just come, get a good word, go home, be filled and warmed, and then repeat who you are week in and week out. You see that?
Oh.
Go ahead, read on.
It's verse 15. For Yahweh thy power is a jealous power among you, lest the anger of Yahweh thy power be kindled against thee, and destroy thee from off the face of the earth. Ye shall not tempt Yahweh thy power, as ye tempted him in Massah. Ye shall diligently keep the commandments of Yahweh thy power, and his testimonies and his statutes, which he hath commanded thee. And thou shalt do that which is right and good in the sight of Yahweh, that it might be well with thee, and that thou mayest go in and possess the good land which Yahweh sware unto thy fathers, to cast out all thine enemies from before thee, as Yahweh has spoken. And when thy son asketh thee in time to come, saying, what mean the testimonies and the statutes and the judgments which Yahweh our power hath commanded you, then thou shalt say unto thy son, we were Pharaoh's bondsmen in Egypt, and Yahweh brought us out of Egypt with a mighty hand. And Yahweh showed signs and wonders great and sore upon Egypt, and upon Pharaoh, and upon all his household before our eyes. And he brought us out from thence, that he might bring us in, to give us the land which he sware unto our fathers. And Yahweh commanded us to do all these things, to fear Yahweh thy power for our good always, that he might preserve us all alive as it is at this day. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before Yahweh our power, as he hath commanded us. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 1. When Yahweh thy power shall bring thee into the land, whither thou goest to possess it, and hath cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites and the Girgashites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And when Yahweh thy power shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
And that's what we did. We looked at the wealth of these nations and we made covenants. Well, I want this land, so let me let your son marry my daughter. Well, you wouldn't have to do that if you just listened. The land was already yours. The land was already yours. Why would you have to go make a covenant with these people? Get them out of here, and you'll be able to pick whatever you want. You know, we went out, it wasn't even theirs. We just went about getting things the wrong way. And that's kind of the thing with Israel, where we want to get things, but we always go about it the wrong way. And that's why when we do get it, even what you want, it could be a good thing. And it ends up being a snare for you. It ends up being the thing that you trip over once you do get it. Go ahead.
Verse 4. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other powers. So will the anger of Yahweh be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly. But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire. For thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy power. Yahweh thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
You know why, man, you know why, when you read in that Joel, and it talks about they will not break their ranks, and they could be thrust through with the sword, and they'll not die, and and it's going in. You know why that can't be man? Because when we were commanded to go through and destroy just a nation of people, we showed them compassion. You mean to tell me that when Yahweh Shai comes, we're going to be showing the nations compassion?
No, don't do it, no.
Yeah, it's time to hunt and kill, and we're going to be like, man, but it's a baby. Right?
Put that spirit on us.
Well, yeah, but not at that time. Not when Yahweh Shai comes, and when it talks about all them angels running to and fro, and they won't break their ranks. And you got some that say, well, that's us. That ain't us. That's the angels. Because there's not gonna be any room. Not breaking the ranks. You know what happened in these instances when we went to go deal with the Canaanites? I'll use Saul. When Saul went to go destroy Amalek, he broke his ranks. He broke the rank of destroy everything, do not leave nothing alive. That rank was broken. He broke the rank, the other men broke the rank, and we know what happened. When Yahweh Shai comes, it's not going to be no feelings involved. I'm trying to show y'all it ain't going to be some emotional, like he's going to drop out the earth or out the sky, and then he's going to be like, but it's just a baby. Lord, Father, should I kill it or not? Well, this tender white woman needs to be saved because she's a tender white woman. Or this 5'11" Judite sister needs to be saved because her beautiful and she got hazel eyes and she's slim thick. Hey. There's not gonna be. Listen, Yahweh Shai ain't gonna be operating off of that, and neither are those angels that come with him. Now, if it was us, you'd be looking at it like, damn, my mama?
Right.
They put my mama to death? Oh man, right? You trying to hide her away? You trying to store her away in your luggage, right? Like,
Oh, Bob Jago.
right. You be so in sympathy for the ones that it tells you that mercy is going to be over at this time, right? It's going to be straight judgment. But who's going to have the faculties to judge the way the earth needs to be judged at that time?
That's true.
Who's going to have the pristine pinpoint focus to execute judgment on all flesh? Grandmaster J, right? He got his own people out there shooting themselves. He got to stop it, right?
I seen him on a video.
Right?
He kneeling down to this homeless person who was a Edomite,
Oh yeah,
peeling off cash.
I believe it, because that's what it's about. It ain't about helping our people. They're not about helping our people at all. But y'all see my point, though, right? That the time for compassion ain't gonna be then, but even in this time, what got us where we are was our not being able to understand there's a time and a place for all things. There's a time to be compassionate. They said there's a time for love. There's a time for war. Time for peace. There's a time for compassion. There's a time to kill. We had our ideas misplaced. Like, man, but they look just like us. We dark-skinned, right? Damn, he got a beautiful daughter. My son needs. Man, you sure he can't? Man, I'm gonna let him marry her. So we had compassion for the wrong things, and look. So just to kill when Christ comes back, it's gonna be all butterflies and love. It can't be, or else we'll be right back serving America all over again. We'll be right back serving our enemy, because what they'll do, they'll bow down, they'll crouch, oh my God, we're sorry. right? Never trust thy enemy. It says, though he come bowing and crouching. Because that's what they do. When it's time for judgment, they'll bend their backs oh, we're sorry for slavery. We'll give you repercussions. We'll give you this. We'll give you that. And as soon as they give you that, they already got a scheme in the back of their head. How we going to snare you?
Yep.
How we going to get you?
Yep.
When Yahweh Shai come, it ain't going to be, they're not going to have that opportunity, because the level of compassion that we look at as humans, like, oh man, nah, you know what? Nah, let me not be mean. Let me give them a pass. Bro, they ain't going to be there. The Most High is going to send Yahweh Shai through. One of my favorites is, brothers know it, Isaiah 63, 1 through 6. He is going to stomp on them. And there is going to be blood on the dance floor. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And compassion is going to be out the door. The only ones going to get compassion is the ones that deserve it, which is the righteous. The righteous will get compassion. And this is where we got to stop misplacing the idea of grace and passion and compassion and mercy. They don't deserve mercy. Are they giving you mercy?
Wow.
Mercy ain't a $1,200 to $100 stimulus check.
Every 4 months.
Mercy
5
ain't
months.
food stamps. Mercy ain't what you think mercy is, because behind every food stamp dollar, there is an Israelite being shot and killed. There is a stipulation and a string behind it. Right? What's up? What you got?
I got a precept.
What you got?
This is Amos chapter 5 and verse, I started 18.
Mm-hmm.
Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord.
Right?
To what end is it for you?
And it's funny because me and Ricardo was sitting back talking about it. And you know, it's wild, man. Every time that sky get black, when it's like and it's been getting real dark lately with all these thunderstorms and little whack hurricane we got out here. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, and every time I hear that thunder and lightning, and I'm like, I hope this is it. I hope this is it, in the way of, I'm tired. Right?
Yeah.
I'm tired of dealing with the nonsense. At the same time, on the right side, I'm like, no, I ain't ready. I ain't did enough. Like, what day is it gonna be for me? Right. I'm tired of going through the rigmarole, but at the same time, that's what gets you to the point where when he does come, you're justified. You see that? So we gotta always make sure our thoughts on this is clear. Woe to you that desire. We all desire the damn day, man. Come on. What are we fighting for? We're fighting for that day. But at the same time, we know that, wait a minute, we better make sure we got our things right. Go ahead.
The day of the Most High is darkness and not light.
And it's all dark. It ain't a time of compassion and grace and mercy, butterflies and Snickers bars, and rainbow Skittles. It ain't that. Go ahead.
As if a man did flee from a lion.
Right, because you're going to be seeing a lion and you're going to run. You ever see a man run from a lion? You can't run from a lion. Don't y'all get it? A lion can catch up to you in 4 strides, even the most slothful lion. He take 2 strides and he's on your neck. You can't outrun a lion. So that day is showing you're not going to be able to run. And even if you thought you outran that lion, Reed.
And a bear met him.
Right, so you ran from the lion and there was a bear in the way. You like, okay, which one do I try to take out first? But now, I want y'all to think about this. David took down a lion, right? I think it says in the Josephus, he took out a bear also, a she bear. So David did these things, right? So can't we? Nah, not in that day. You know why? That day you're going to be weak as puddles of water, right? We talked about it. Your knees is going to be trembling. You're going to be weak. You're going to be weak you're not going to be trying to worry about fighting what's going on. You're going to be trying to run from what's going on. But every which way you go, lion, bear, snake, this, that, you're not going to be able to escape. Go ahead.
Or went into the house and leaned his hand on the wall.
Read.
And a serpent bit him.
Yeah, man. You can't hide. Go ahead.
Shall not the day of Yahweh be darkness?
Come on, read.
And not light.
Right, ain't no compassion. for the wicked. Ain't no compassion for ignorance. That's over. It tells you the time of mercy is ended. It tells you that in the Apocrypha, I believe. Go ahead.
Even very dark.
Read.
And no brightness in it.
Come on.
Oh, that was it.
Right.
I hate that spot.
Yeah. So this scripture, that compassion. But I bring that and I go there because when it was time for us to not be compassionate, that's when we show compassion.
Yeah.
But then when it's time for us to be compassionate towards one another, we like, nah, nigga, I'm gonna kill you.
Right.
True.
We have misplaced judgment when it comes to our people. Misplaced intention, misguided intentions, man. When it comes to who we supposed to have compassion on and who we not supposed to have, who we supposed to save, who we supposed to be with. And we see time after time we made these same mistakes over and over. Look where we at. So when it's the final time, them angels ain't going, listen, the scripture said that they appease him that made them. The commandment is going to be given. And the commandment is going to be kill the wicked. And guess what? They're not going to stop until every wicked person is wiped out. No matter where you at. But it tells you, you can hide under the rocks going to fall on top of you. You can deep dive into the sea. You can go up into the air balloon. You can do whatever you want. You're not going to escape. Where we at? Read on.
Oh, no, it's you.
Oh,
Yeah, you're pick it up.
you might as well just read two because they ain't going to make it back. Read two. Read this one and I'll read the last one.
Okay. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 11. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 7, my bad. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people. For ye were the fewest of all people. But because Yahweh loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, hath Yahweh brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondage, out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Know therefore that Yahweh thy power, he is power, the faithful power, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him, and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations, and repayeth them that hate him to their face, to destroy them. He will not be slack to him that hateth him. He will repay him to his face.
Right.
Thou shalt therefore keep the commandments and the statutes and the judgments which I command thee this day to do them.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? It said that he will repay us to our face. Meaning, it ain't gonna be no secret that the Most High is checking you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why my life, like, you got the people like, man, I don't know why my life is going like this.
Right.
Well, because you ain't keeping the commandments.
Right.
I don't know why I'm sick. I don't know why I got diabetes. I don't know why this is happening. I don't know why that's happening. I don't know why I'm in turmoil all the time. Well, he said it. He said, because you didn't keep the commandments, I'm going to smack you right upside the head. You don't know it's me. But what is our people real good at? Our people is real good at denying the Most High, even in their chastisement. Like, no, that ain't God. That's true. Because, what I did was this and then that happened. It was all coincidental. Now, that was a coincidence. Because if I would have did this, and this, then I would have had a better outcome. Yeah, God is love. He don't make nothing bad happen. Yep. Like, ignorance, man.
I was going to say, man, we so good at ignoring the signs.
Yeah.
And don't want to acknowledge when it's from the Most High. Like, when you look at that the movie, what was that, Final Destination? And it's like the most ironic things be happening. So the water spill, and then it gets on the cord, and then the electrical cord starts to catch fire, and then the whole building burned down. And it's like, what was the odds of that?
But that's what those movies do. They make things look coincidental. Right? Like it's not the Most High that sets things in motion.
Yeah.
It's some type of fate.
Right.
Choose your destiny, right? Like, nah. Choose good or evil. Choose you this day, life or death. And your fate will be determined through your steps. Every time you make a walk and your foot catch into a nail, well, I'm walking the wrong way.
Right.
Every time I walk and I'm walking on a clear path, well, I must be walking the right way.
Wow.
It's simple mathematics, right? 1 + 1 = 2. Walking in sin equals punishment. Walking in righteousness equals joy. You know, it ain't much more harder than that. Go ahead. Where we at?
We're gonna jump to Isaiah chapter 40 and verse 1.
So we ended at 7 and 11, right? Right. And repay them that hate him to their face, to destroy them. Ugh. He will not be slack to him that hateth him. He will repay him to his face. Like, ew. And he'll smash you right in the face with the things that you left. Think about it. You left off the work and the Most High for that woman, and that woman, what she do?
Yep.
She more than dip. She'll cheat on you. She'll have a kid that ain't yours. Tell you that it's yours. She'll do all the wickedness a woman can do. And you'll baby, I'm begging, until you finally come to your senses. And then you're like, damn, I went through all that. It's like, well, yeah, the Most High was repaying you to your face. Yeah. In the face. Like, remember in America, come to America? In the face. Right? You smack it right in the face, bro. You be like, oh, but our people, they got to get a couple of in the faces. They get a couple of those and they still don't get it.
I know it all too well.
Yeah. Hey, read. Right? Isaiah 40, right?
Come on, it's Isaiah chapter 40 and verse 1.
Right?
Comfort ye, my people, saith Yahweh. Speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem, and cry unto her, that her warfare is accomplished, that her iniquity is parted, for she hath received the Lord's hand double for all her sins.
And why did we get double? Because we knew better. We knew better. Luke 14 tells you, he that knew of the master's will and did it not, received double stripe, more stripes. We knew better, man. We had the law. He gave us you are the families of the earth that I've known. Therefore, I will chastise you for your sins, right? Was that Amos 5?
Amos 3.
Amos 3 and
3 and 3.
3 and that's
Three and
3
two.
and 7?
3 and 2.
Oh, 3 and 2, right, you're right. Amos 3 and 2, right? So we knew better. He gave us the wisdom. So that's why we got to get double the hit. That's why we go through this slavery. That's why we go through so much that desolation that our people are in. And you think like, damn, how we ever gonna get out of this? It's so deep. We're coming out slow because it's not a forever thing. But we getting double. Go ahead.
Verse 3. The voice of him that crieth in the wilderness, prepare ye the way of the Lord, make straight in the desert a highway for Yahweh. Verse 4. Every valley shall be exalted.
Right, Isaiah prophesying about who? Make ye way the straight. Make ye way. The voice of him that cried in the wilderness, prepare ye. Right, that goes with John the Baptist, right? Right, go ahead.
Verse 4. Every valley shall be exalted, and every mountain and hill shall be made low. And the crooked shall be made straight, and the rough places plain. And the glory of Yahweh shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. For the mouth of Yahweh hath spoken it. The voice said, Cry, and he said, What shall I cry? All flesh is grass, and all the goodliness thereof is as the flower of the field. The grass withereth, the flower fadeth, because the Spirit of the Lord bloweth upon it. Surely the people is grass. The grass withereth, the flower fadeth, but the word of Yahweh shall stand forever. O Zion, that bringeth good tidings, get thee up into the high mountain. O Jerusalem, that bringeth good tidings, lift up thy voice with thy strength, lift it up, and be not afraid. Say unto the cities of Judah, Behold your power. Behold, Yahweh, thy power will come with strong hand, and his arm shall rule for him. Behold, his reward is with him, and his work before him. He shall feed his flock like a shepherd. He shall gather the lambs with his arm, and carry them in his bosom, and shall gently lead those that are with young. Who hath measured the waters in the hollow of his hand?
Right, that Isaiah 10 and 11, that goes with Isaiah 63. He said, I looked and there was no one with me. My arm delivered me.
God,
Man, I love that scripture.
him alone.
I got it on a t-shirt. Right? I mean, it's cold, man. When you read that, you're like, dang. Like, but it shows you, even Isaiah knew of the Messiah, of the Savior. He prophesied of a man that was going to come down. Think about it. They had in their minds, in a belief, that there was going to be one man that came down to stomp out a whole nation of people. One man. What were they smoking? What was Isaiah on to have this thought process?
Spirit.
Yeah, he wasn't smoking a damn thing. He was in the spirit, understanding what the will of the Most High was, and that there was going to come a time that there was going to be a man that came and had to wipe out a nation of people on the behalf of his people. Think about that. Like, think about, why would Isaiah, he wrote Isaiah 40. He came back in Isaiah 60. You go to Isaiah 59. It's saying the same thing. Why would he be thinking, like, wait a minute, so there's going to be a man that's going to have to wipe out a nation for us? What type of man is that? You see what I'm getting at? Like, the thought process of these prophets, you got to get into their thought process and say, damn, what would make them believe that? What would make Moses say there will be a prophet risen up from among your people that will deliver you? What would have David thinking that that's going to happen? What would have these men thinking that? Well, they knew the estate of Israel, but they also were acquainted with how the Most High rolled. You see that? They understood that it wasn't the Most High that was going to hop down off the throne, because he never did that. He was going to send his son. He was going to send that Savior. Go ahead.
Verse 12. Who hath measured the waters in the hollow of his hand, and meted out heaven with a span, and comprehended the dust of the earth in a measure, and weighed the mountains in scales, and the hills in a balance?
Couldn't it only be the person that created it?
God.
Or the being, or the one that created the things, where he could say, I want this much sand over here measured. I want the mountains like this. I want this, how the expanse of the heavens are going to be. Right? The creator, Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
Verse 15. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as small as the small dust of the balance. Behold.
You know what a small dust on a balance does?
Nothing.
Nothing. Y'all got it absolutely right.
Nothing.
It don't even make, like, who wipes off the scale before they weigh something?
Nobody.
I hopped on the scale the other day. I took my son to a doctor's appointment. They were like, hold him and you get on the scale. We'll weigh you both, then it will take away your weight. They didn't wipe the scale off first to make sure that the little weight, the dust didn't accumulate. They're like, hop on there. Nobody wipes off the scale. Think about it. That dust has nothing, no bearing on that weight, is what he's saying. No type of value, nothing.
Not even thinking about
So the nations, I'm not even thinking about wiping you off. The nations are nothing, but it said it. He says it in Esdras. The nations are nothing and accounted as nothing. From the beginning of time, they were nothing. So that means that their gods are nothing, their philosophies are nothing, their ways of living are nothing, their dietary laws are nothing, their mind state and how they feel about us is nothing. We got to be about the Most High, man. Go ahead.
Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing. And Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor the beasts thereof sufficient for a burnt offering.
Listen, he said the isles, I'll take those up like they're nothing. I'll wipe those things away. Lebanon. Where's Lebanon? Who knows?
In Palestine.
Right, he said they're not even sufficient to burn. And their animals, bro, are not even worthy of sacrifice. He was going in. Go ahead.
All nations before him are as nothing,
Right?
and they are counted to him less than nothing, and vanity.
Ah,
To whom then will ye liken Yahweh, or what likeness will ye compare unto him?
going back in to say, if you created gods, how could you create something on the level of the Most High?
That's true.
You'll miss every time, Buddha. You'll miss every time, Caesar Borgia. You'll miss every time, Cobblestone Islam. You'll miss every time, Christianity. You'll miss every time. Baal, Peor, Molech. Molech, Ashtaroth, you'll miss.
Yeah. I was gonna say this is a cold scripture too, because you know you got those people that be like, well, all nations, even though they worship different gods, it's all the same.
They all believe in one God.
They all believe in one God. It's like Moses was like, nah,
No.
ain't no one that can compare.
There's nothing that compare. He said, to whom will you liken the Most High? To what one of your gods can you compare and say,
It's true.
the God of Ra, right? Hotep, did for us what the Most High did for anybody. Think about it. Take every God on a smorgasbord and say, what has that God done for their people? And compare it to what we read about the Most High doing for his people.
God.
That's all I'm going to say.
God.
Go through history and say, okay, what did the God of the Egyptologists, whatever God they worshipped at that time and that age, what did that God do for them?
He's the creme de la creme.
Now, ask yourself this, because they believe that we are gods, right?
God.
If we're gods, what have we done for each other? What have we done for ourselves to get ourselves out of captivity? Because a God is going to do something for his people.
We also die like we.
Right. Well, I'm not going, we are gods on a scriptural basis. I'm going more on
The Kemet.
the Kemet side of we're gods. The black woman is God. So if the black woman is the God that the man should worship, what has she done?
Oh, I see.
What has she done for the black race?
Destroy.
Because every God is going to look out.
What was that?
But every God is going to look out for their people, right? And try to have their people's well-being or best interest at hand, right? So if the black woman is God, what has she done for the black race? Now, I'm not trying to discredit women, because they do a lot. They bring life, right? They carry you for that 9 months. Because I don't want to say they create life, because they don't create life. There's already life in the man. The sperm is already alive. The egg is not alive. The egg is now animated through the sperm, if you know biology and all that stuff. The eggs they're just eggs. Unfertilized egg is what? Breakfast. Right?
God.
Unfertilized chicken egg is breakfast. That ain't going, there's nothing there to do. So, I'm not trying to discredit or lower a woman's, what they do bring to the table, but we got to put things into perspective, especially with this scripture right here. If the black woman is God, I'm asking my Kemet people, if there's anybody online, if the black woman is God, besides giving birth, which she cannot do of her own faculties, a man has to put the seed in her, or she can go to the clinic and get a turkey baster, right? But she has to be impregnated. Besides giving birth, and then supposing to have to nurture that life, besides that, what has she done as a God for her people? And why are we in captivity? Why are we getting shot in the streets? Why are we still the lowest on the totem pole? Why is there so much hate between the black Hispanic woman and the black and Hispanic man? Why is there no, what did I get? Those are my questions. Like, why? Aren't they valid? Where's the gods at? Is there any gods online? See, now I'm clowning. Now I'm having fun. But y'all see my perspective, how you can just destroy the logic of what they try to come with if you meditate in the scriptures.
You definitely can.
To whom then will you liken God? Well, if the black woman is a God, or the God that we are to worship, when the hell are we going to get up out of captivity? When am I going to be able to stop paying taxes? When am I going to be a lower level God? When can I reign in your palace, black woman? When you going to take your people in, is what I'm asking. When you going to save your people from destruction? Well, she can't.
She's at Walmart.
She can't. You know why she can't? Because she's part of the destruction. Ooh. Right? The ones without wisdom and knowledge, they're part of the destruction. They're part of the reason why the hell we're here. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 19.
Yep.
The workman melted a graven image, and the goldsmith spreadeth it over with gold.
Right.
And casteth silver chains.
And listen, man, you could throw Wisdom of Solomon, the 14th chapter, right with this Isaiah. Wisdom of Solomon 14 is perfect. And you could start, we don't got to read it, but Wisdom of Solomon 14, I mean, bro, verse 1. Actually, you can actually, some good reading is actually Wisdom of Solomon 13, boom. Yeah. It's Wisdom of Solomon, the 13th chapter, the 14th chapter. And, it goes in about, man, these workmen crafting these images out of wood, stone, and giving them a name. But how can the dumb image that can't eat or drink be worshipped? That's what Solomon was going into. And who better to know about idol worship than the man himself that helped to build the idols that we worship, that our people went off with. You see that? So yeah, those are some good chapters. You can add that with this. Precept your Bible. But those that 13, 14, man, is good reading about the idols. You can and we read it. We read 14 and 8, right? Down the devising of idols. We read 14 and 12. Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 14. That's going in about Caesar Borgia, the creating of that filthy image that we worship, or that our people worship as Yahweh Shai, which is not. But it goes in about the skill of the workmen working these things to make these images, man. Right? Watch this. Give me one second. What did he say? Right, man. Y'all can read it. I don't want to go into it, but y'all can read it. If you got any questions on it, y'all can ask. Go ahead.
Oh, your turn.
Oh, it's me.
It's your
Isaiah 40 and verse 20, right?
Yes, sir.
Isaiah 40 and verse 20. He that is so impoverished that he hath no oblation chooseth a tree that will not rot. He seeketh unto him a cunning workman to prepare a graven image that shall not be moved. Have ye not known? Have ye not heard? Hath it been told to you from the beginning? Have ye not understood from the foundations of the earth? It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth. So it ain't Amun-Ra, it ain't Hotep, it ain't Caesar Borgia, it ain't Buddha, it ain't Muhammad, right, or Allah. It's none of these gods, man. It ain't Michael Jordan. It ain't LeBron James. They barely, they don't have nothing to do with the Most High and what he can accomplish. It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants there are as grasshoppers. Think about it. The Most High looks down at us as bugs. You ever see a grasshopper? You look down, you're like, oh, little thing hopping around, eating crops and just moving along, right? No cares in the world. That stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in. Wow. Wow, think about that. Think about that. The Most High, it said he stretched out the heavens like a tent for him to dwell in. Like a curtain to block out the sun. Dang. That bringeth the princes to nothing and maketh the judges of the earth as vanity. Yea, they shall not be planted. Yea, they shall not be sown. Yea, their stock shall not take root in the earth. And he shall not, it's a lot. And he shall also blow upon them, and they shall wither, and the whirlwind shall take them away as stubble. To whom then will ye liken me? Or shall I be equal? Saith the Holy One. That's cold, man. That's cold. Lift up your eyes on high, and behold, who hath created these things, that bringeth out their host by number. He calleth them by names, by the greatness of his might. For that he is strong in power, and not one faileth. Right. That was verse 26.
Yes, sir.
Right. So then Matthew's. So everybody clear on that? Any questions? I mean, there's a lot of scriptures you can. There's a lot of precepts. Like, I got my whole thing, and I don't even got all of them, but there's a lot of precepts you can. All right, Ricardo. Right, y'all funny. Let's go to Matthew. Ricardo with his ooh. Samuel with his my. Right?
They come with their words.
Yeah, my. Matthew 23:31. Matthew 23:31. Wherefore ye be witness unto yourselves that ye are two. He was killing him. He about to kill him right here. Yahweh Shai is about to go in right here. He said, wherefore ye be witnesses unto yourselves that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets. Right? He's going in on the Pharisees, man. And the hypocrite. Fill ye up then the measure of your fathers. Remember, now he said, what measure you judge is the measure you'll be met with. Right? So he said, fill you up the measure of your fathers. The same way they went is how you gonna get it. Right? Ye serpents, ye generation of vipers, how can you escape the damnation of hell? He was putting them in check because they really thought they was on point. But he had to remind them, wait a minute. You're the same ones whose fathers killed Isaiah, killed Jeremiah, chasing Paul around. Right? Or were going to chase Paul around. You Pharisees, you ones that thought you knew it all and that you couldn't be shown something different. You thought you had it because your phylacteries and the border of your garment was broad. You thought because of that, you couldn't be corrected or told a different way. Right? Wherefore, behold, and he's showing you, man, no matter what you did, you was going to go to hell. You was going to go to that damnation of hell because of the way you thought. A thought process was going to get you there. Verse 34, wherefore, behold, I send unto you prophets and wise men. I want you to hear it. Wherefore, behold, he didn't say I sent or I'm sending. He said I send unto you. Remember, it said that, what was the scripture where he said he had secret apostles? Dang, man, it's on the tip of my brain, but I'm not. It's going to come to me. It's going to come to me.
Did you say yours?
No, not that. Wherefore I sent unto you prophets and wise men and scribes. So Yahweh Shai, he was sending the prophets through. Isaiah, go get them. Jeremiah, go preach to them. Hosea, Baruch, make sure you write it down. Make sure you write down what Jeremiah is saying. And he was going to continue to send prophets and scribes.
I was going to say, that's throughout time.
That's throughout time. That's throughout time. He was reminding them of their past, and he was saying, look, I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep sending, I'm going to send more scribes and more prophets, right? To show my people their transgressions, right? And some of them ye shall kill and crucify. Ye shall. Future prophecy. Paul. What happened with Paul? What happened with Stephanus? They stoned him. right? They killed Paul. The apostles, they were ran all through cities and chased and killed and stoned and beheaded and sawed in half, and right? But it wasn't that it was gonna stop. Think about it. We don't get killed for teaching this word, but we do get a level of persecution. Think about it. You say Christ is black, and all of a sudden you anti-Semitic. That's not even in the Bible. Semitic. His name was not Sem. It wasn't Noah, Sem, Ham, and Japhet. Idiots. His name was Shem. It was Shemitic, not Semitic. But that's how you know they don't even like. But that's why they're Jewish. That's why they're Israeli.
You know what's funny? The funny thing is, the Most High, he put them there to provoke us to jealousy. But the Most High still didn't give them. The Most High still didn't give them like our name.
No,
God.
couldn't.
You know what I mean?
He couldn't because the name is in everything.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you're absolutely right. And yeah, it's like, nah, you don't get to be Israelites. Y'all get to be Israelis. Like, what the hell? That's,
Yeah, what is an Israeli?
y'all don't get to be Jews. Y'all get to be Jewish. Y'all don't get to speak that. Y'all don't get to speak the actual holy, like, it's Lashawan Kodash, the holy tongue. Y'all ain't holy, so y'all don't get Lashawan Kodash.
You get Yiddish.
You get Yiddish.
You get Semitic.
You don't
Semitic.
get Shemitic. You get Semitic.
You don't get Shem. You get Sem. Whoever the hell he was.
They don't know what it looked like.
Sem?
No,
Funny, man.
The Hebrew.
the Hebrew.
Some of them do. Some of the young ones don't.
It was
Like if you go to your guy,
yeah,
and be like, "What's this?" He'd be like, "I don't know. What is that?"
yeah, I went to do it in Willowbrook. We used to go back and forth all the time. And he was like, I've never seen this.
Never seen this.
I've never seen
Yeah,
this.
because they don't know. A lot of these young Israelis, these young Semites, right? They don't know history anyway. They just go off of tradition. But that's why when they come here, they're like, "Oh, weed smoke. Ooh, cigarettes. Ooh, crack. Ooh, cocaine. Ooh, promiscuous sex. Ooh, I could be gay.
We still eat pork.
Pork. You're right. Burgers. Ooh, meat and cheese. Ooh, they go away from everything they've been taught because it's not in them. So you know what's crazy? You know what I love about the Most High? As we slowly get our bearings back and usher back into our tradition, you know what the Semites are doing? You know what them Jewish people are doing? They're slowly stepping away from.
It's true.
They're slowly stepping away from the Torah in their generations. Look at our generations, right? Every child that is produced from this generation, the hope is that they're gonna sit in class, learn who they are, at least learn Christ was black and that they're an Israelite. Right. And we hope that as they grow, they'll keep the feast days and we'll be around to push that. And then we hope that the next generation, like I hope I'm able to see 2 generations of my lineage, right? As far as my sons. Hopefully I live long enough to teach my sons and teach my sons' sons. That'd be beautiful, right? That way you kind of get, huh?
I want to be here that long.
Con. But what in the desire of the day, Lord? No, no. I don't want to be here that long either. I hope it don't come to that. But I'm saying if it boiled down to us having to still be here, 80 years from now, how am I for? Damn, that's a long time. Jesus. Okay, let me backtrack some time.
20 years.
Maybe, well, Noah, yeah, maybe 20 years from now, Noah will be 27. Hopefully he has a kid early, in his early 20s. And the thought is you want to be able to get that teaching to those generations. But see, the problem is with them Semites, right, sending their kids to America, sending their kids, so they want to branch out of Yisrael and go to all these different countries and adopt those different countries' lifestyle. You see it with these people. When they're in the mall and they sitting there smoking, they're like, "You got a lighter?" And we like, "Lighter? For what? You smoke?" They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "But you Israeli. What about the Torah?" They like, "No, I don't believe in that foolishness." I'm like,
They don't follow
I'm
the
like,
Torah.
I'm like, "Thank you." I'm like, "For water. Toda." Right? Toda, Aki. I tell them that, and they like, what? And I'm like, because the more y'all let go, the more we grab on, you're gonna see the transit. Oh, okay. You're gonna see the transit. I thought they was out there playing bumper cars. You see the transition slowly. We're slowly forming back into the belief, and they're slowly like, yeah, this ain't for us.
Yeah,
we don't want this.
It's like even like the curses. The curses is slowly being ripped off of us.
Yep.
And being put on them.
Or
not just them, but just the nation.
the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're slowly coming out the curses, and as it's a simultaneous thing. They let go, they stumble over the word, and what do? It's like boom, and it just does this. And guess what? We don't got to do. This is why we don't advocate for violence. We don't advocate for guns. We don't advocate, and when I say guns, meaning I don't got to walk around with a damn machete or a machine gun on my shoulder to show nothing. You know what I got to do? Teach my children. The more I teach my children, the more he teaches daughters. Teach your kids. The less they do it, the scale tips automatically. Automatic, without you having to do nothing but pick up a book. Think about that. You ain't got to get no gun. You ain't got to march. You ain't got to piss and cry. You ain't got to cover up the Black Lives Matter sign in the middle of the street. You ain't got to do none of that. But teach your children. And they will slowly, because they ain't teaching their children. What is the nations teaching their children?
Instagram, Facebook.
They're teaching their children to eat whatever you want, stick whatever you want, lick whatever you want, taste whatever you want. As long as you're happy. I don't care what he does, as long as he's happy. Well, you're okay with him being a faggot as long as he's happy? Yeah, as long as he's happy. So you know what? Go ahead and be a faggot. Don't reproduce. It'll be less of y'all, more of us. You see how it goes? Like, now you ain't making children.
That's true.
So now you're not even bringing up another generation to continue in the folly.
Right.
So that madness starts to die off. You see that? I love it. I love it. So you nations, Esau, keep being homosexuals.
Keep doing all of it.
Keep eating pork, eating bad, so you can die of blood pressure, so you can die of
They
worms.
tried to get me yesterday, man.
Who?
I went to Timmy Chan's, yes.
That right there, bro, they already got you when you walk up in
Hey,
there.
listen, I ain't been there in years, man.
First of all, it's a Chinese chicken,
Listen, I was
Chinese soul food. It ain't from Korea. You were tempted?
Nah, not tempted. I was.
You were beguiled?
Nah, bro. What's the word? What's the word when you'll take anything?
Bro,
Hungry?
you were in hunger.
I was hungry.
You were desperate.
I was desperate.
Oh, that's
I was
terrible.
desperate. You know,
Which Timmy Chan's was it, by my house?
Yeah.
Bro,
Oh, no.
That's the one I grew up on.
you know what? He could have came right to the house and got food. See?
I could have.
Y'all meat burgers.
Could have.
Oh.
But I was sitting there. I was eating the fried rice.
Ugh.
Sucker was on point. And then I got chicken fried rice, and then
There was a
yeah, I'm in the night. It's night. I
Yeah.
I didn't have the light on. I'm watching the Lakers versus the Clippers.
Yep.
The highlights.
All filth.
And I pick up something. I'm like, man, this look weird. I'm like, babe, what is this? Is that a shrimp? And she was like, it's a shrimp. And I was so hurt.
Ooh.
I was hurt.
They
Man.
put a bunch of shrimps in
It
there?
was just one shrimp.
Oh, so they cooked on the grill, the shrimp, the this, the that, and then they tossed in an extra little abomination for you.
Dude's brand, bro. I was hurt.
Your whole plate was defiled.
I couldn't eat the rest of it. I had to go.
I wouldn't have. Shrimp juice. Hey, listen. The sad part is I literally live across the street from that Timmy Chan's.
You could have walked.
Man.
You can walk
But you
out the
weren't at
gate.
home. You had to take him home.
That was
Take who home?
original.
Him.
Bro, they was at home cooking Beyond Meat burgers. You could have been like, hey, I'm hungry. I would have been like, bro, go to the house. There was two extra ones there too.
You know, I don't got the pots out my boxes or nothing like that. So I couldn't.
Yeah, he could have came to my house and ate, but he ate the
I just wanted something different.
That
I
wasn't
wanted
even the original Timmy Chan.
The original one is down in by
In
Southside.
the-
Yeah, well, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It's still all filthy.
I was the greasy one where the gravy's like grease.
No, if you ever come to Houston, do not eat Timmy Chams.
Just do it one time.
So you eating cat?
You eat shrimp. They try to hit him with the shrimp. They don't even need cat. They just, yeah.
Horrible.
But y'all see the point, man. The more we do our job, the less they do theirs, the easier it is, right?
And you know, also that's another reason why we don't have to pick up guns and fight the white man.
Yeah.
I look at the news and I see these protests in Portland, and even the whole Black Lives Matter protests and all that garbage. That's all you saw was Edomites. You did not see none of the 12 tribes really there. It was just Edomites because we got to work.
Yeah, the white
Yeah.
people took over.
Yeah,
They're the ones that's protesting, and they're the ones that's going up against these far right, left wing.
They're going up against themselves.
They're going up. Yeah, literally, they're going up against themselves. We don't have to do nothing. We just gotta watch the show. Just gotta watch it. That's it. Police officers are shooting their own people at the protests with the tear gas and the rubber bullets and all that. They're burning down their own stuff. We don't have to do nothing.
Let them do the work. Let them kill each other. They're good. They're good at killing. Let them do it to each other. You see what I'm saying? All we got to do is follow the word.
God.
Follow what the Most High wants, which is to teach our generation.
Man, I was reading something and it was talking about them. I don't know if it was in the scriptures or what, but it was saying that they're actually a warlike people and they fight just each other. If they need something, if there's nobody to fight, they'll fight each other. I forget where I read it. I was reading
Think about it. Think about it.
Sure.
Every war that they ever fought, when Esau in America is beefing with Russia, who they beefing with?
Themselves.
Edomite Russians. When they beef with them Israelis or whoever their superpowers, they beefing with themselves. Outside of, the Chinese nation, the Japanese, and what other superpower is there besides the white boys? That's really it, right?
Yeah.
They ain't got does India have a strong military? Do they?
Iran.
Okay, I didn't.
Missile system.
Iran.
Okay. Even Korea.
Iran.
Korea said, "Listen, that's gonna be the show. We'll give it to y'all." Y'all heard about Korea? North Korea, was it North or South? He said Kim Jong-il,
He's north.
North Korea. He said there'll be no more wars because they got nuclear weapons. He said there'll be no more wars for their country.
He's gonna blow it up.
Basically, he's saying that because they got nuclear weapons, no one is gonna want to fight them. There'll be no more wars. That's the reason why they got nukes. Think about that. The first war was passed. The second war was passed. The third war is yet to come. So what Bible is he reading? He's not. He's reading that book of Buddha.
Yeah. Press that button.
Next time y'all come out, we will make y'all some lawful Chinese food. See?
Please.
Kaya, Khan says. What did it keep saying? Meow fried rice?
Oh, man.
See, we ain't messing with that. Meow. That general, what is it? What is it?
The General Joe's
No,
chicken.
what's the red chicken?
Sweet and sour.
No, it's red. It looks like claws, like dog claw.
The ribs. They pass
Yeah, the
out
rib tips.
Yeah.
Rib tips.
The
That look like a
paws.
dog foot.
Dog paws.
You gotta be careful with them ribs.
You should look at her hand.
I was not looking at
I said you looked at your hand.
Like that, pause. Anyway, let me read on, man. It says, wherefore, behold, I send you prophets and wise men and scribes, and some of them you shall kill. And you know what's crazy? When you look at the scribes and the wise men and the prophets, when did they ever tell Israel, go pick up your swords and kill your captives?
Never.
They always just said, come back to the Most High, right?
Oh.
Right. They'll do their own destruction. Think about the nations. They eat bad. They eat terribly. When you eat dog, I don't give a damn how many herbs you take after that, you eat dog.
That's true.
When that's your delicacy, when you eating turtle,
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
yeah, the chick's devouring the turtle outside the shell,
Yeah.
boiled. When you eat turtle, when you eat shrimp, crab, and lobster, you're destroying yourself. Now, these are the things that white people consider to be delicacies: shrimp, crab, lobsters, oysters, scallops, mullets, calamari, octopus. Right? These is what Esau told us was delicacies. These are the things that kill us. But guess what? It kills pork.
Yeah.
Pork kills all people that eat it. It ain't just black people. It
That's
kills
true.
white people too, because when they
That's
bust them
true.
open, they got hypertension and diabetes too,
That's true.
right? So they want to live lawless, let them live lawless. They want to be faggots, go right ahead.
That's true.
Again, you're not going to be reproducing children. Every time we have a child, that's one more set of ears and one more mind that can be focused on the Most High.
That's right.
That's one more brick in the kingdom.
That's true.
You see that? Where they're pulling bricks out of their kingdom with every time they die, and they don't have no knowledge on how to keep things going. You see that? So it's a very beautiful thing the way the Most High got this thing going.
Yeah, you got it
balance.
spiritually though. That's you hit the spirit, so that's good though.
You got something?
Yes, sir. I was gonna sit here and say that even with you talking about the food and all that, that's the reason why they take blue pills. Not to get into bed, but that's why they take blue pills and all that stuff, because all that stuff you're eating, it messes with your
Manhood, right?
You know
Right,
what I
your
mean?
libido.
Yeah,
Viagra.
yeah, Viagra, the blue pill.
Yeah,
That's the
Viagra. They
reason
got
why-
it. Yeah.
That was a heart medicine.
High blood pressure kill your nature too. When you high blood pressure pill,
Yeah.
it kill your nature too.
Yeah, but then think about where the high blood pressure is coming from with
It's all
these
about
nations.
eating.
All that bad food that they eat, all the abominations that the Most High said don't eat, bro, it kills them. And they slowly, like what was one of the big things in Europe? They were scared because they weren't reproducing. Italy mainly. There was no babies being born in Italy.
That's right.
And then look what just happened in Italy with the coronavirus.
Oh yeah.
Bro, like 1 million old people just got wiped out. A whole generation, or maybe 2 or 3 generations, just got wiped out of a whole nation. So what is that? A whole generation of garbage thought process of thinking one way has been wiped out, and now you have a whole new generation that thinks a different way. But what is their way of thinking? Not to preserve their culture, because they could give a damn about that. Not to preserve their history, because they could give a damn about that. Because they don't care. The new generation don't care about that.
That's true.
That's why they have to be taught. Why you think Moses had to teach the new generation in Deuteronomy? Remember what happened? Slavery, wilderness. Remember y'all were walking? Where's y'all parents at? Where your granddaddy at? You remember he died? Because we wasn't listening, right? But think about that. The Most High has a way of rinsing away. He rinses the earth through its own filth.
That's deep.
And he takes away a certain thought process. He did it with Noah in the flood. Everybody was wicked except for these 8. He washed away all the wickedness so that righteousness could prevail. You see that? He's doing it once again with us without having to do a mass killing. He's like, you know what? Let them be faggots. Let them eat bad. Let them serve these other guys. Let them sacrifice themselves with bombs.
True. That's true.
Right? Let them jump off of buildings and commit suicide. Let them play in traffic. Oh, you want to skydive? I'll make the parachute not open. Oh, you want to be wicked? I'll make sure that this plane blows up with 100 of y'all. Like, the work is being done, and then what we should be doing, teach your son. Teach your Deuteronomy 6 and 4. That's one more set of ears and eyes that can grab onto the truth and then disperse it
That's right.
to the next generation. Think about. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, man. Ask yourself, when's the last time you saw
Ooh.
a white Edomite woman and an Edomite man with a child? Just
That's right. They
Like
do
a
it
brand new
true.
baby, but that's what I'm saying.
barely see it.
They're not having
I worked
kids.
in the mall and I barely saw
Like
Two
2 Edomites
couples.
with babies, yeah.
with babies.
Yep.
And you know, women don't really go for the Edomite men like that. So it's rare. So you don't really see that Edomite woman and man together with a child.
That cookie cutter family,
I saw more interracial.
yeah.
You know, Edomite
Crazy.
women with Judah and Issachar. I saw that and them having kids more than I ever saw an Edomite woman and an Edomite man.
Hey, we gotta put it on there so y'all can see what's going on. It's real. The abominations of the nations, man. You gotta know what to not look for. You gotta know what to look for. But no, he makes a good point. You don't see that cookie cutter Edomite family no more. Why? Because they're learning. You know, I need me a black man. I need me a Israelite man. Why? Because the validity of that seed is gonna hold. You know, I mean, white people have babies and they get a premature death, stillbirth, miscarriages,
And they grow up and be gay.
bruh, or their kids is running around homos.
Yeah.
What are they doing? They're not reproducing nothing. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I'll read on. Coast is clear. Wherefore, verse 34, wherefore, behold, I send unto you prophets and wise men and scribes, and some of them you kill and crucify. And some of them shall ye scourge in your synagogues and persecute them from city to city, that upon you may come all the righteous blood shed upon the earth, from the blood of the righteous Abel unto the blood of Zacharias, son of Barachias, whom you slew between the temple and the altar. What am I reading to? Oh, did I go past? Oh, 39. Verily I say unto you, all these things shall come upon this generation. O Yerushalayim, thou that killest the prophets, and stonest them which are sent unto thee. How often would I have gathered thy children together, even as a hen gathereth her chickens under her wings, and ye would not. So Yahushua was, bro, this is cold when you look at it. He said, I was trying to gather, he said, how often did I try to gather you together?
Yeah.
Isaiah, Jeremiah, Amos, Hosea, Malachi, what else? What other books? What am I missing? Obadiah, Micah, right? They were all sent to gather to Zechariah, right? They were all Haggai, Zephaniah, Habakkuk. How did I miss those? Amos, Joel, Ezekiel, Daniel. They were all sent. Jonas, right? All sent, because they were all sent like a hen to gather her chicklets. He said, how often did I do this? Well, what did you do? Nah, I'm going to eat that hen. That's some good eating right there. We're going to have some wings tonight. We didn't look at it like, man, the Most High was doing something for our benefit. It's like, we in slavery, and you want us to get right? Okay, we'll get right for the purpose of being outside of slavery. But as soon as we get free and clear, nah, every man did what was right in his own eyes. But Yahushua, he said, man, I don't know if y'all look at the way it's worded. I look at the way things is worded. He said, I sent the prophets. Man. See the control the Most High gave Yahushua? Now you see why they try to stone them. Because they probably like, nigga, you sent the prophets? What the? You wasn't in the gym with us when we was shooting. You wasn't in slavery with us when we was getting in captive. What you mean you sent the prophets? They wasn't understanding the level that Yahushua was on. It's beautiful. And the power, the control. Remember, he said, all things are given into my hands from the Father. So when you look at from the taking us out of Egypt, all the way to putting us in slavery, to taking us out of slavery, to putting us in slavery, taking us out, putting us in, taking us out, to now. That was all the Most High saying, here, man, do what you want. do what's best. It was given into his hands, man. It's cold. Send this prophet. Should I send it? Yeah, go ahead. You got it. It's on you. Right? The Most High trusted Yahushua to execute and do things the right way. You know, it's like when you put a person in front of a job, you ain't sitting there micromanaging everything like, man, you like, man, go do this, this, and this. And then they might come back and say, hey, I did this, I did all that. No, that's what's up. Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Same thing, man. Yep. CEO. The Most High is the CEO. Yahushua, what's the level under the CEO? The COO?
Yahweh's the owner. Yahweh's CEO.
Yeah, right. Yahweh's the owner. And Yahushua is the CEO. He's running things. Right? Let me go back to Matthew. I like it. I like it a lot. Right? He said, verse 38, behold, your house is left unto you desolate. For I say unto you, you shall not see me henceforth, till ye shall say, blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord. Mark 12, let's jump over Mark 12 and 28. This is the last scripture. After this, whatever questions y'all got. Mark 12. Mark chapter 12 and verse 28. And one of the scribes came, and having heard them reasoning together, and perceiving that he had answered them well, asked him, here we go, I like this, which is the first commandment of all? Yahushua answered him, the first of all commandments is, hear, O Israel, the Lord our power is one power.
God.
Right?
Beautiful.
Deuteronomy 6:4. And thou shalt love the Lord with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, with all thy mind, and with thy strength. This is the first commandment. And the second is like, namely, this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. There is none other commandment greater than these. And why did he say there is none greater? Because when you do these things, you encompass all 619 laws. You will do all 619 laws. When you love the Most High with all your heart and you love your neighbor as yourself. Because if you love the Most High with all your heart, you'll seek his judgment. You'll seek his way. If you love your neighbor as yourself, you'll make sure you do things in the way you will want things to be done to you. So you'll say, well, I want fair judgment. I want equity. I want to be dealt with in the right way. You're going to do that to your neighbor. Right? So you'll encompass the morality of the law, the moral law, the civil. Why is the dietary? How does the dietary come into place in loving your neighbor as yourself? Talk to me.
That's like so many ways.
Like you say, you're going to treat your neighbor as yourself.
Right?
And so with the dietary law, seeing as a lot of those things that the Most High forbade us to eat,
Right?
these things actually destroyed our body and put us in a state to where it made us sick,
Right?
right? So why would I want my neighbor to be sick
Right?
if I don't want myself to be sick?
Right?
Why would I feed my neighbor pork when I know that pork has a worm that doesn't die
Right?
and will destroy my body? Why would I feed my neighbor that same thing?
Right.
So if I love my neighbor, I wouldn't feed him pork. Or if I love my neighbor, I wouldn't give him the defiled foods that the Most High told us not to eat.
And check this out. On this,
I got one on that too.
you gonna say something?
Also,
I got one for y'all.
in addition to that too, like experiencing people knowing that what you don't eat, they make something that is tainted, say otherwise, and serve you that dish, and they look at you like,
Yeah.
take a bite,
You ate that.
Like Moab did to me yesterday.
take a bite, take a bite.
Yeah, you ate that.
And in the sense of like, how does that come into play too? Like, you're not gonna go conniving and taint somebody's dish. Like, all right, there's something you said, don't mess with somebody's hair or their food. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, why you gonna mess with my food like that? Now that you thought of that, you had to go and whip it up. Take the time, malicious. That's the word. Yeah, you really put that thought and wicked spirit into taint my food. All right.
Yeah. What else?
You know, I was gonna say on it.
Go ahead, Derek.
My bad.
Okay, I don't know, problem. That is in the scripture that is, I don't know what scripture it is, but isn't it in the scripture that said if it calls your neighbor to sin, to not to do it, or like
Oh, it's 1 Corinthians.
The first Corinthians, if your meat offend your neighbor.
yeah,
What I was talking about, not actual food, but there's another one that goes in about it. I'll be hungry. There's another one. I see the thought process that you're in where, yeah, you're not gonna do something, and he basically said it too. You're not gonna, you're gonna love your neighbor as yourself. So you're not gonna say, well, I don't eat pork, but I'm gonna sell it to my brother. Here you go.
yeah.
Right? You're not gonna do that. But how about this also? Love your neighbor as yourself. And you know what a lot of y'all, especially some of you women, don't think about? Let's take it away from just eating pork, unlawful food. Let's just talk about health. Loving your neighbor as yourself. A lot of women, you have children, right? You have your children, you get a little bit lax, and the bad eating, the lack of enthusiasm to work out or to just keep healthy. How are you showing that you don't love your neighbor as yourself? Because who has to deal with your health issues when you get older? Against your children? So what love are you showing them when they gotta push you around in a wheelchair because you gotta get a leg amputated because of your bad eating habits?
Wow.
Or they gotta suffer every 5 minutes, there's a damn scare. Every 5 minutes you get a phone call, they getting phone calls because of your health issue. How are you showing them the love? You're putting them in more mental anguish, right? Because they gotta watch you suffer. Has anybody ever sat back and watched their mother or father suffer through health issues? That don't feel good. I'm thankful that I haven't had to yet. My parents is up there. My pop's almost 70, which is wild to think about because the dude don't move like a 70-year-old. I feel like he's 30 for some reason. It's like he's 40. He don't move like a 70-year-old at all. The dude, like, no, he don't do like the whole aches and pains thing.
It's because I think it's because he's still moving around.
That dude
like,
just.
my grandma in Florida, she walks
Yeah.
to catch the bus, and then because she don't like driving at all, so she walks to the bus stop from her neighborhood, catches the bus, walk to work. It don't matter if it's raining. It don't matter if it's super cold. She walks, and she'll tell you she's gonna be 70 as well.
Yeah.
And if she's not already 70, but she walks everywhere, and then she carries those. She goes grocery shopping. She walks to the grocery store and she carries those bags to the house. So because she's walking like that, she literally has she don't got no health problems.
Oh, my pops is 67.
Dang.
He had me when he was 30. I'm 37. How old am I?
39? Or have you
No, how old are you?
I'm 39. How many months apart are we?
Dang, you're 39?
Okay.
So I'm about to be 39, so I'm 38. I gotta remember my birthday through him. I thought I was 37. But I felt like I was 16. Now I'm playing. My point that I'm trying to make is a lot of women and men, you don't think about what you do to your children going forward when you take on bad health habits, and who has to sit back and suffer through all the doctor visits, all the near-death experiences, through the, man, she's sick, then she's better. He's sick, he's better. Your kids gotta suffer through that. So why not show the love for your children now and take care of yourself now?
Right.
That's one of the reasons why I try to be halfway healthy, because I'm like, bruh, by the time I'm about to be 40. Okay, not yet. And how old am I again?
You're 38 right now.
I'm 38 right now. I'll be 39 in like 2 months. So I'll be 40 in a year. Just had a kid. So by the time he's 18 and able to like function on any type of manly level, I'm gonna be what?
58.
58 years old. I'm gonna be 50 when Noah. Turns 18.
That's a 5-star general right there.
The point is, do I want to be 50 years old and my son's got to wheel me everywhere? Like, okay, Dad, let's get the walker. Right? Let's get the walker. Or I'm on a breathing machine. Or I can't move around with them because, oh man, son, my feet, my back, my this, my that.
That's true.
You don't, like, who wants to put their children through that? See, loving your neighbor as yourself goes very, very deep into the things you do now have ramifications in the future for people in your life in the future. A lot of y'all don't consider, man, what the hell you do now is going to affect you. Think about it. The people that got diabetes and high blood pressure and hypertension, they didn't just eat one burger and all of a sudden they got these things.
That's the reason why
They-
exercise.
But that's what I'm saying. Even Lewis, he works out. He gives himself to at least some working out so he can last a little bit longer and not have that continual sickness. The scriptures say a life of continual sickness is better than death.
I mean, death is better.
Death is better than a life of continual sickness, excuse me. So it's saying it's better to die than every 5 minutes, doctor, hospital, near-death scare, this, daddy, come on, wheelchair, daddy, come on, walker, daddy, oh, I gotta give you a bath, dad. Come on, man, who in here wants their kid to be having to give them a damn bath?
That's right.
Because you can't function. Because of all the bad decisions you made, eating, drinking, and just giving your body to the wrong stuff when you had the chance to change. You're not showing that you really love yourself, first and foremost. You're not showing that you love your neighbor, your children, the people that are going to have to take on that burden of taking care of you. Like, we got to look at that. I always look at that. Like, I don't, you know, my mom, man, she was on the phone with me the other day. My mom is getting up there. She's 63. She said her age, and it blew me away. I was like, what? 63? But she walk everywhere, take the train, take the bus, moving around, moving and grooving. Like, you don't hear too much, oh, my back, my this, my that. My mom don't eat no meat, really. She don't drink. She gets her rest, you know. But she made a statement. She was like, I hope that, because I got 5 brothers and 3 sisters. She was like, I hope that I never have to live with them when I get older. Just put me in a nursing home. And I'm like, okay, you can come live with me. She don't want to be that burden on me. But she already knows she can always come live with me. But it's just wild that, you know, I'm getting to the stage now where I got to start considering my parents in nursing homes. I got to start thinking and listening for the phone call of heart attack and this and that, because I know they don't eat right and exercise and give themselves to the right things. All my family, I got a lot of old family members. I got old aunts that are in their 70s and 60s. Nobody in my family has died. I have my grandparents and I have my grandma, 2 grandmas, a grandpa died. I had an aunt and an uncle died. Now, on my dad's side, there's 9 of them. They all still moving around. They all old though. They're in their 60s, 70s. So I'm like, damn, at any moment, it could be phone call after phone call after phone call, death after death, right? Or it could just be nursing home after nursing home or continual sickness. It could be all these things that it's like, damn, they didn't consider what they was doing young. They don't consider now. And who's going to have to take care of that? Their kids. They have to burden their children with their sickness. So, you know, just something to consider on that level. Those of y'all that are struggling, with your health, but you got children and you love your kids, because I love my babies. I'll do anything for them. Think on what I just said. If you're going to do anything for your children, it starts with your sacrifice, keeping yourself healthy to be around for them. Right? I will read on. Verse 32, and the scribe said unto him, well, master, thou hast said the truth. For there is one power, and there is none other but he. And to love him with all thy heart, and with all thy understanding, and with all thy soul, and with all thy strength. And to love his neighbor as himself is more than a whole burnt offerings and sacrifices. Wow. We need to start going here more often. Right? For the burnt offerings. It's a good one, right? He said, and when Yahushua saw that he answered discreetly, he said unto him. Now remember, this is one of the scribes. Scribes and the Pharisees, they rolled together. But when he had answered discreetly, he said unto him, thou art not far from the kingdom of God. And no man after that durst ask him any questions. Any questions on that?
Con,
Yep.
what does that mean? Thou art not far from the kingdom of God.
Exactly what it says.
It's
With
exactly
that,
what it
think
says.
about it. Just read verse 34. Okay, so let's break it down. 28, the scribe is asking a question.
Where we at? I'm sorry.
Mark 12, 28. So in 28, the scribe is asking the question. 29, 30, 31. If you have a red letter Bible, Yahushua is answering. 32, the scribe is rebutting. Now, usually what do the scribes and Pharisees do? They would ask a question. Yahushua would give them the answer. Then they'd be like, no, that's not it. No, but what about this? Right? The Pharisee agreed with Yahushua. He said, yeah, you're right. There is only one God. That's who we got to worship. You're right. It is to love your neighbor as yourself. Why was this important? Because what was the Pharisaic mind state?
To go against Yahushua.
Yeah, but concerning, you're absolutely right, but just concerning the way they operated in the law. What was their mind state?
You catch him up.
No. Before Yahushua came on the scene, what was the Pharisaic mind state?
Carnality.
Right?
Basically, it was nothing spiritual about it. Everything's about the showboat of what they're doing in front of the public.
Right. It was about, go to Matthew, we're right here. Go to Matthew 23. Matthew 23 and verse 23.
Matthew chapter 23, verse 23.
See, this was the census amongst the scribes and Pharisees. Read.
Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees,
Right?
hypocrites,
Right?
for ye pay
So first of
tithe.
all, they were hypocritical.
Right.
Oh, I love my brother. Okay? But you put him in constraint, you use and abuse them, you rob them. Where's the love? So they were hypocritical. Go ahead.
For you pay tithe of mint
Right?
and anise
Right?
and cumin,
So you'll pay your tights. Go ahead.
and have omitted the weightier matters of the law.
Go ahead.
Judgment,
Right?
mercy,
Read.
and faith.
Right. Also understanding that you're not God. The Most High is the power to be worshipped. The Pharisees wanted to be worshipped. That's why they said they walked around the markets wanting to be called master, master. They wanted to be looked at as something. That's why I said they took the upper rooms in the in the feasts, right? They wanted to be seen of men. They wanted to be worshipped. They wanted to be looked at as gods also because they knew something. So this scribe in Mark that answered, he said, and the scribe, verse 32, I'll read it. And the scribe said unto him, well, master, well, teacher, you have said the truth. Like, Dad, that's true. My. Right? For there is one God, and there is none other than he. To love him with all thy heart and with understanding and with thy soul and with thy strength, and to love his neighbor as himself is more than the whole burnt offering and sacrifice. So what was he going into? He was showing about the spirituality of the law.
Right.
He was showing that he understood the spirit of the law was to be there for your brother.
Okay.
It wasn't about, oh, I sinned, I got all my turtle doves lined up.
Con.
What did we do in the ancient times? We did just that, right? We already had our sacrifices prepared before we committed the adultery.
Con.
We already had the sacrifice prepared before we went into pride mode. Like,
Right.
I'm going to hit that even though the law says not to. But wait right here, let me get my rams. Right?
Con.
So you had your rams lined up. You probably be trying to give up a sacrifice from the day before. Knowing that, man, my neighbor's wife is looking real dope. At some point, I'm going to hit that. Here's a few rams, couple of ox, turtle dove. Hold those for me real quick. Put those on hold. Oh, is there a holding place for those?
Right.
That's how Israel thought. Don't we do it now?
Con.
Yeah.
Don't we do it now? Like, oh, I'll just, I'm going to do my, what is it? You know pork is bad for you, right? Oh, I got grace. I got mercy. Right? Well, you know selling drugs is bad. Well, I got grace. You know doing this is bad. I got grace. I got mercy. You know you shouldn't be a damn stripper in the damn club. Well, the Most High ain't killed me yet. That's how it's the same thought process.
That's true.
Right? So he was this Pharisee, this scribe. The reason why Yahushua said you're not far from the kingdom, because what was the kingdom predicated on?
Right. Your faith, basically your obedience to the Most High.
Your love of the Most High, your love of your brothers. Remember, when you fed me, when you clothed me, when did we feed you? When did we clothe you? When you did it to the least of your brethren. You see that? Flee from me, you workers of iniquity. What we taught in your name. Well, we did cast out devils, but did you love your neighbor as yourself? Because you could be a hateful nigga and cast out devils. You could be a hateful nigga and teach in the name of the Most High. Paul said it. He said, some preach contention to add to my bonds. Some preach Christ, but contention. So you can preach Yahushua, but it could be hate. You You see that? You can preach in the name of the Lord, but it could be homosexuality. Well, God loves faggots. The church, they preach in the name of God.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh.
All them damn Nigerian pastors talking about they gotta
Man.
women gotta drink their sperm to be holy, and they gotta have sex with every woman in the congregation because they got holy sperm and all the weird things they say.
Kiss them to suck the demon out.
They gotta, yeah, all that. They gotta pee on them. They gotta dance. They gotta do all weird stuff, man. You watch the videos on Facebook. All them damn Hamite preachers.
Yeah.
Wow.
They preach in the name of God. They preach in the name of Christ. But it's not the right preaching. They ain't making it, man. They're not understanding. So going back, you know, this scribe, think about it. Of all people, a scribe, scribes, Pharisees rolled together. They was documenting everything. Of all people, man, this man was like, man, I get it. I understand what it's going to take to make it to the kingdom.
Right.
Yahweh Shai said, shh, you ain't that far. With that, what do they say? When you go to a job and you're performing and you got ideas and you come up with all these different new ideas to promote the business, they're like, man, you going to go far with that thinking. Right? You ever hear that? Like, man, you're going to go real far if you keep thinking like that. Or if you move like that, you're going to go real far. Yahweh Shai was like, basically, man, you keep that mind state, you ain't that far from, when it's time for that day, you're going to be in the kingdom. Yeah, so he was seeing the spirituality of the law, man, which is a beautiful thing.
Con.
Right. So the kingdom of heaven is within. Right. Let's see here. So any other questions on the reading before we transition into whatever questions they have online or in here off the reading?
Nah.
Damn. Oh, this is irritating. I feel like it's running. Right, let me see what they got. Could some form of spiritual punishment or payback come to those restaurant cooks, owners, by maliciously intending to serve brothers some defiled food, knowing that he wouldn't normally eat that?
They don't care.
There's punishment for everything, but do they care? There's punishment for everything, but think about it. They don't adhere to the law.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
right.
you know, it's like if you go into a restaurant and you by accidentally eat the shrimp. Is there punishment for that?
Blah.
Yeah, there is.
That
talked
we,
about
that
this
we
before.
That we eat it.
Yeah, let's say
okay.
you walk into a restaurant,
Huh.
you order some chicken fried rice, and there was shrimp scrampy in your plate, and you ate it unknowingly, and then you're like, damn, I just ate some shrimp. Is there punishment for that?
Yes.
Hell yeah, there's punishment for that.
Yes,
You're gonna
there
get probably get a tummy ache,
Yep.
little vomit, little diarrhea,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
What?
I said, get a pimple.
Yeah, right. You break it out. There is some form of you did wrong. I'm gonna give you some now. Like if I like me, this is how I know when I eat something bad, and especially, you know, they try to squeeze in the pork into your little thing, and you might chew it, eat it, or something got pork in it. I get like real bad stomach aches, right? Real bad stomach aches, and I'm like, damn. Did I eat some pork or something? I get this type of stomach ache where my body is like, I ain't. You know, when you haven't had certain things in a long time, and then you have it and your body reacts in a way where you just like, whoa. That's how I know where they try to creep something in there. You know, that's a form of, hey, you made a mistake. Now, that's where grace comes in, because the nations go to Judith. I was going to go here earlier, but just on this point.
5.
Go to Judith. Is it 8 or is it 5 where it says the iniquity in them?
5:27.
Yeah, read that for me, and then go there. Let them know where you at.
Oh, 5-20.
Is that what it is? Where it says if there be any iniquity in this people, then God will, yeah, read that.
Judas chapter 5 verse 20.
Right.
Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people,
Right.
and they sin against their God,
Right.
let us consider that this shall be their ruin.
Right.
Let us go up, and we shall overcome them.
Right.
But if there be no iniquity,
Now think about it. To overcome us, how are they going to do it? They're going to like overcome us lawfully? No. Psalms 83. They're confederate in doing what? keeping us away from the Most High by any means necessary. So what are they going to do?
Right.
Poison your food.
Right.
They're going to make Victoria's Secret accessible to your teenage,
Daughters.
your preteen daughter.
Right.
Right? They're going to let homosexuality be on all the cartoons. Why? To predispose you, to cause you to sin. Is there punishment for that? Go ask Balaam. Is there punishment for that? Go ask the Midianites. Is there punishment for that? That's how you know Ricardo's in class.
Yeah, like.
But go ask them. Now, for them to accidentally put pork in a brother's cuisine,
What's wrong?
of course it's wrong. Because the nation shouldn't be eating pork either. They shouldn't be eating shrimp, crab, lobster.
Nobody did.
They shouldn't be eating that stuff either, so of course they're going to get a punishment. What said punishment is, I don't know. But we know that when you read Psalms 83, when you read this Judith 5, they already have a preconceived thing in their head to make us fall. So when they putting shrimp, one little shrimp inside a brother's thing, first of all, if somebody orders shrimp, chicken fried rice, I don't want not one shrimp in it.
Right.
There shouldn't be one shrimp in it. Right? There shouldn't be chicken being cooked on a shrimp grill. The cross-contamination. Right? There shouldn't be that. Think about it. Imagine if he was allergic to shrimp.
Right.
And he ate that rice mixed in with that one shrimp. He would have went into anaphylactic shock and died. There's definitely a repercussion. That's why I always tell them, when I go to a restaurant, depending on where I'm at, certain restaurants, I know they heavy on the pork, and that's why I don't really eat out too much. You know, you go to Chick-fil-A, they ain't serving no pork. You go to certain burger spots, they ain't really serving pork like that. But if you go to certain restaurants and you know, like, the pork can be misconstrued with the chicken, I say, hey, I'm allergic to swine. I can't. My swine can't touch my plate. And they do the white glove treatment. They start moving with like, okay, we ain't trying to get sued.
Right.
I'm not trying to get a civil law, because bro, you could bring lawsuit after lawsuit. You could bring a lawsuit on the maitre d'. You could bring a lawsuit on the server. You could bring a lawsuit on the cook as well as the establishment, because they were supposed to take care. When you say allergy, they supposed to, okay, this plate ain't supposed to come even in the same breathing space as these other things that they're allergic to. What's that?
I was gonna say, just on the subject of what we're talking about and how the nations don't care about what they feed us.
Go ahead.
This is Uber driver that I ran into, right? And he knew about the truth, so we had a good dialogue. And he texted me this. Him and his wife, I guess they went to this restaurant, and he said, "Man, I couldn't even believe what was on the menu." So it says a savory stew of pork blood, meat and innards, simmered in rich gravy of pig blood.
Who does the pig blood again? That's an actual cuisine.
That's Asian.
That's Asian.
Yeah, they
What they do in Louisiana too.
Yeah, that pig blood.
I'm like,
Red blood sausage. Boudin.
Yeah, red blood. Yeah, boudin.
Yeah.
red blood.
But that blood stew, that's like the Asians. That's like their delicacy or their cuisine.
I thought Esau did that.
I don't remember Esau doing that. They did do it, red pottage. That's right. but actually taking the pig's blood, they take the pig's blood and put that into that's the sauce.
I'm thinking of like a German type dish where I heard.
It's probably the sausage.
Okay.
It's probably the sausage, and they stuff it in the guts. The casing is the gut. They boil it. It's called
Where they use the stomach and they stuff all this stuff.
yeah, but I think it has something to do with the pig
But
blood.
I was thinking the blood, like as far as in the stew.
Yeah,
Anyway.
that's witchery.
They got a blood soup. They got a pig blood soup.
Yeah, in China.
If it's not in China, it's somewhere in Asia.
Yeah,
I
that's
saw
their,
it on a
that's
show.
like their delicacy, like a
Yeah.
pig blood stew, right? But again, think about it. When you go to Psalms 83, watch, go here. Go to Psalms 83 and go to Psalms 83 verse 2, then jump down to verse 5. No. Psalms 83 and verse 4 or 5.
Psalms chapter 83,
Read verse 3.
verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
Right, so our enemies, the nations. Go ahead.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
Read.
They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Right, if there's any iniquity found in them, the Most High won't deal with them. So were they going to do that lawfully? Like, oh, no, they were going to give us religion. They were going to give us pork in our dishes. They were going to give us bad food, bad clothing. They were going to kill us off they're going to put extra soy in your baby's infant turn them into a faggot. They were going to put metals in the cereal, mess up their stomach. They were going to do all they could to cut us off.
And even in all that stuff that you just listed, they glorify it. They make it look good in front of us so that we want to go do it too.
Yeah.
They entice us with it.
Shrimp is a delicacy.
Yeah.
There was a time where in America, I don't know if y'all knew this, there was a time in America where shrimp, crab, and lobster was looked at as what it was. Scrap food. Peasant food. But then there was such an abundance. When you go to those north shores like Maine, you go up there where they do a lot of the blue crab fishing. Damn, we got blue crabs. Wow. There's not a lot of these blue crabs. They must be a delicacy. Then that ushered in the whole thought process of shrimp, crab, lobsters, oysters, clams, right? Escargot, clams, because you get the pearl from the clams. Scallops. You ever see a scallop?
Nah.
Bro, you know what a scallop comes out of? A shell. It looks like a big ass slug. When they pull that thing, it looks like it comes out of a shell. You ever see like conch fish? You ever go to Bahamas? Their delicacy is conch fish. Bro, you gotta rip that thing out of the shell. You know, like he sells she shells by the seashore. Those seashells that you put to your ears, those were animals' houses. Like conch fish, scallops. They were just sea slugs.
Some crabs.
Some crabs, yeah, they got the shells on them.
Yeah.
You ain't supposed to eat those things. But they make it into a delicacy. Oh, it's a delicacy, because when you go to the restaurant, what's the highest price thing on the menu?
Lobster.
Thank you. Salmon is like there, right?
Yeah.
Talking about like $20-something. You go to a fancy restaurant, you pay like $20, $30 for a thing of salmon. Everything's a la carte, mashed potatoes, $9, green beans, asparagus, 10 bucks, glass of wine, 15. But that whole crab be like $100. I mean, I don't know how much it is. How much is a whole crab? Whoever went and got a whole crab from one of them restaurants.
I got a lobster one time.
How much was it?
This sucker was off the chain.
This was back in his day before he knew the truth.
That is right.
Gotta say that, because they gonna be like, oh, y'all up there eating lobsters right now? No, we're not.
No.
But how much was it? Do
It
you
was
remember?
like, this was like the size was this big. It was like almost like $40-something.
What?
Yeah.
See my point?
Ain't no lobster.
You see my point? Something that big, they made it for. So imagine if you would have got a big ass blue crab. That's supposed to be the rarest of the rare. You talking about $150 for that whole crab? They make it, they price it, and they guide you in a way like, oh, this is a delicacy. Like, how is eating fish, eggs, and crackers a delicacy? Like, oh, it's tangy. Oh, it has a nutty, right? Oh, you can tell this came from the shores of the Mediterranean. Oh, and this came from the eastern shores of the Atlantic, and this came from the Pacific oceans of California. Like, nigga, stop! It's fish eggs. It all smells like roe. You ever smell roe? You ever smell fish eggs when you got a row of fish? It smells like death.
Yeah.
Ain't no different taste in it. Like, oh, this came from Alaska, the Alaskan wild.
Caviar?
Huh?
Sushi. Caviar?
Yeah.
Caviar, that's fish egg, yeah. Like, oh, this came from the Alaskan wild. Oh, you can taste the crispness. It's a different type. Oh, this is a freshwater fish. Man, get the hell out of here with that. We ain't messing with that.
Sushi also, right?
Same thing with sushi, right? You got different levels of sushi. You got your sashimi, you got your sushi. You know, certain places you go, it's raw, more raw than others. Some, they cook it, it's smoked salmon. Some is just straight raw.
You know, abalone?
Huh?
Abalone?
What's that?
That's like probably the most expensive. This is shellfish
Uh-huh.
too.
Really?
It's like deep. You gotta.
Oh, you gotta go for it.
Yeah. You
And it's rare.
Down there.
Is it rare? Like
Yeah,
a rare fish that's hard to find?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They gotta put on scuba gear and go way down and find them and stuff.
But that's what they do though.
Yeah.
They put a rarity on something because they think it's rare, and they say, okay, this is rare, you gotta have it.
Blowfish.
Blowfish, right? It's poisonous.
Yeah, it's poisonous. You gotta cut.
You gotta
it
cut out
certain way.
the ink sac out of it so it don't kill you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's a fish. It's like it emits black ink to its enemies. They got an ink sac. You go get this fish, you talking about a couple of $100 to get this fish, a couple of fillets. They gotta cut out the ink sac, and if they don't do it, they gotta have like a specific. This chef has to be like world renowned, trained in this fish. No one can cut this fish except for this man. So you're thinking like, dang, only one man can cut this fish? I'm like, I don't want that. I'm good. What if he's having a bad day? What if he missed a step? I'm gonna put my life in his hand. I am good.
What was rib just left him?
What if his rib left him and all of a sudden he just want everybody to die? I'm gonna skip. I'm gonna leave it like, even if he leaves, because the sack is there, and if he pierces, he has to cut the fish in a way to not pierce the sack and the membrane.
What do you even think about that? How do you think
Bro,
about
but
that?
but that's my point. Who goes and says, you know what, let me go eat the most dangerous fish in the world? The white man, right? Because he'll chase it down, he'll hunt it, but then he'll put a price tag on it, and what do niggas do?
That's baller.
Come on, don't y'all remember, think about it on this level. Dapper Don, right? The dude that runs around with all the Gucci, all the MGM, right? Back in the day, he was taking those things like Gucci, Louis, and he was putting them on people's cars, like the outside of the car. The damn Louis would be like, you know, on the Jeeps, they put it, the outside tire, he would cover the outside tire with that. Now, what woman is going to take her Louis bag and sit it in the rain? Not a woman in her right mind, right? But guess what? Back then, when it had less value to anyone, they were making damn tire covers out of Louis Vuitton. Yeah, that's what he was doing. Go look it up. Before he started really getting into the clothes and designing clothes and doing it like that, he was making he had a car shop in Harlem, 24 hours a day. He was decorating cars for pimps. He was decorating Jeep Wranglers for that regular consumer. These are the things that was getting rained on. Again, what woman's gonna take her $8,000 Louis and put it outside in the rain? Or her Chanel bag and put it outside in the rain? You tuck that, but why? Because there's been a value put on it that this can't even touch water, right?
Yeah.
Where back in the day, that's all it was doing. That's all it was good for. Until someone came along and said, no. This is a status symbol. That's shrimp, that's surf and turf. It's a status symbol. The nations did that to cause us to fall. That was the crafty council. And it wasn't that crafty, it's easy. Niggas just want what everybody else has. They got a king, well, we want a king too. Well, you got a wicked king. We covetous, man. So it wasn't that hard for them to come up with anything. Hey, we're going to eat crab and say that it's a delicacy. Well, we want crab too. We tired of eating lawful, massa. We want some shrimp too. Bubba shrimp, crispy shrimp, steamed shrimp, right? You got to watch that Forrest Gump. He was clowning black people. But what was his name? Bubba Shrimp?
Bubba Shrimp.
Bubba Gump. And the nigga knew every shrimp recipe in the world.
They got a whole restaurant
They
right
have
now.
a few of them.
Steamed shrimp, this shrimp, and his whole bottom lip hanging. This shrimp, dude, like, come on, man, stop clowning black people. Clowning Israel, bro.
I was clowning them Jews that will put the tobacco
In the bottom lip,
bottom
and the
lip.
lip just hang down. But think about it, you have one retard leading another. So the white retard was smarter than the black retard. Like, come on, but that's how they do it. That's what they're showing. But going back to the point, read verse 4.
Verse 4, and they have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation,
Right?
that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Come on.
For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee.
Haggis, that's what it is. Go ahead.
The tabernacles of Edom,
Read.
and the Ishmaelites.
Come on.
Of Moab.
Right.
And the Hagarenes.
Hagarenes. Uh-huh.
Gabal.
Uh-huh.
And Ammon.
Uh-huh.
And Amalek.
Uh-huh.
The Philistines.
Right.
And the inhabitants of Tyre.
Right. Go ahead.
Ashur.
Right.
Also is joined with them.
Right.
They have Hopen.
Uh-huh.
The children of Lot.
Read.
Salah.
So, did they get punished? Read verse 9.
Do unto them as unto the Midianites.
Right. The Most High said, wipe the Midianites out. They were all destroyed. Go ahead.
As to Sisera.
Uh-huh.
As to Jabin.
Right.
At the brook of Kishon.
Right. You see that? So there is a punishment. There is a punishment. They weren't supposed to be serving. First of all, they're not supposed to be dictating our diet. But that's our punishment.
Right.
That's our punishment. For them to dictate our diet. Deuteronomy 28, 40, 54 says that, right? 28, 45 says it. In the one of all things, hunger, thirst, nakedness. Right? So, are they going to get, all you're really asking is, are the nations going to get punished for putting us in slavery? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, they are. Right? Right. Where was that at? Aggie, technology, artificially. Could some, and it's not just a spiritual punishment they're going to get. They're going to get physical punishment. They're going to get a physical punishment. Let me see here. My father passed away at 49 years old. I was 25. Oh, she's going into that. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. You saw my brother turn to. Should I say that? I was looking for any question. There was a question further up, right?
Yeah, but it's gone. We started a new. Shit. We started a new link.
Damn, and I forgot the question.
That too.
I forgot the question. Yeah, haggis is what's made from the sheep's heart, the liver, the lungs, cased in the sheep's stomach. They say it tastes nutty. Yeah. Probably tastes grassy.
Is that lawful since it comes from a sheep?
No, it's not lawful. Because you don't want to eat the heart, you don't eat the entrails, the heart, the liver, the lungs, anything that has to do with that blood,
Yeah.
you wouldn't want to eat that. You don't want to, so even like gizzards, we moved, I just moved and my rib had a deep freezer. And you know them deep freezers, they go deep. And you be having some things hidden in a deep freezer, but her sister was using the deep freezer also. And I was going through it to clean out and I was like, gizzards. And it was like chicken gizzards and something. I was like, up, trash.
Oh, yeah.
There was some shrimp, something. Up, trash. I was like, there was some gizzards in there. She was like, well, those weren't mine. I'm like, yeah, I know, but trash. Because that's what deals with the heart, the liver. Like black people love eating liver and onions.
Yeah.
Jamaica, that was the thing, liver and onions.
Yeah.
But then
I used to smash it, right?
yeah, it was good. It was good on front. But it had that real irony taste. It tastes like blood.
Yeah.
There's no way you can cook the taste out of that.
You know the gizzards, you can't poison in chicken.
Say it again?
They say you can't poison in chicken.
With the
Because
gizzard?
the
Oh,
gizzard
because what does it do?
loses
Yeah. So that's where the poison
That's
goes.
where the poison goes.
So you wouldn't want to eat that. You wouldn't want to eat the poison filter. So you get that out. I mean, come on, man. You got chicken breasts. Do I gotta be like Bubba Chicken? I gotta be Bubba Chicken? No, I gotta be chicken parmesan. You got chicken breasts, legs, neck, thigh, wing, right? You ain't gotta do the heart, the liver, the gill. You don't want to do those parts of the chicken.
So, can you eat chicken foot?
You can eat chicken foot, of course.
That's why Jamaicans are fast. Is all we eat is chicken foot.
But they don't meat on a chicken foot. It's just
I wouldn't eat that.
yeah. You can eat chicken foot. You can eat cow foot. You can't eat no pig feet.
Pickle pig feet.
You can't eat the pickled pig feet, but you can definitely eat chicken. It don't say nothing about the chicken foot being unlawful. You can definitely eat chicken foot.
That's
That's
cats eating cow tongue.
Oh,
lengua. Yeah, lengua. I don't know about that. You say it.
Oh, that's a caption.
Yeah, I don't know about no lengua.
tripas.
First of all, I just learned that barbacoa is cow face. So
Oh
I'm
yeah,
real.
the head of the cow.
I'm real skeptical on that.
I mean,
I just learned that. That's the head of the cow, right? Barbacoa.
It's me.
It's good as hell too.
It's good.
It's like, man, what grill you want from Chipotle? You want steak or barbacoa? I'm like, I I want barbacoa. It's stringy, it's nice, it's tender, but it's face.
Yeah.
It's lawful, but me,
I
I don't want to eat no cow faces, man. I'll stick to, there's so many other parts. There's so many other parts of a cow that,
Eat your face.
I mean, damn. Y'all got down to the face, but that just show you that Israel don't waste nothing. Israel don't waste nothing. What turn? Think about it. You think that Gad wasn't turning them buffaloes? They wore the damn buffalo. They wore the buffalo, man. After they ate it, they turned it into damn houses and shoes. They wore it, so we weren't wasteful people. They found a way to use every part of that animal. You know, the stomach. Think about what a cow stomach could do.
Which one?
Right.
Got it.
You sew that up. You turn that. They turned that into water sacks.
That's it.
They did a lot of stuff. They were resourceful. You know, wasn't all of it lawful? No, it wasn't all lawful. Again, you don't want to deal with the gizzards, the lungs, the kidneys, the liver, the heart. You know, when they ate hearts and things like that, that was part of like making blood covenants and blood pacts. We just cook it now. Like, yeah, we'll just cook it. But the functionality of that organ is why you don't want to eat it. The scriptures tell you, you know, dealing with the blood, that's the Most High. She's grossed out. I forget. I forget. I don't eat meat like that. I forget. She don't eat meat. So when we talk about it, she's like, eat. Let's see here. Black pudding. That's what it's called.
What's
Black pudding. It's what they make in the UK. So you're right. It was Esau. Who said that? The Edomites in the UK. It's called black pudding.
Oh, the
It's
pig.
made from the pig blood. Yeah, black pudding.
that? Love black foot.
So if you, huh?
What?
Chocolate pudding.
Bro, right. you better be on that. You better be on that Bill Cosby, right? Nothing better. What was it?
Jello.
Jello, right? The pudding
Mixed
pops.
up on that.
Yeah, not black.
Chocolate pudding, right?
Yeah. Well, we talking about black pudding. Chocolate pudding's brown. You know the difference. Come on, Ronnie. Don't be dipping into the black pudding. Right. Black pudding in the UK. Right. Made from pig's blood and the fat. How do we know that that's wrong? It says the blood and the fat go to the Most High. Right? You ain't supposed to eat the fat. You know, and Esau, this is how Esau be getting you, man. Because they'll tell you, like when you go to a barbecue spot. Let me show you how they try to make you break this law. You go to a barbecue spot and you get, let's say a brisket.
Kind of about to say that.
And you get a brisket, and what's the top lining?
Fat.
All fat. And they justify it by, oh, this is what keeps it moist. Flavor. Look at the fat, and they'll look at the marbling. And when they cut into it, it'd be like it's that much fat
That's right.
and that much meat.
Yep.
Like, bro, you supposed to shave that off. Boom, Most High. But they're like, no, that's for flavor. See how buttery it is? They talk about. I watch a lot of cooking shows, and I watch a lot of grilling shows, and it's crazy. But the fat just be like that thick. Even when I watch this show, there's a show where they show, it's called Made with Your Hands. And it shows how they butcher every animal. Sheep, pig, cow, and how cuts you ask for, where it comes from. So I'm watching them butcher this pig. Bro, the fat on a pig, the skin is like that thick. The layer of skin, it's like that thick. And then the fat under it is like that before you even get to any meat. So when they get like chicharrones and pig skins and all that, you can see, I'm like, how can you fry skin? But it's all that fat that they try to hold on to, pig belly. You got to see the fat
Yeah.
in pig belly.
I didn't like how they fry it. I was like, how you make chicharron? You don't have to use grease or nothing.
No, you just dip it.
I think you put some water in there.
And you
put
just,
fat
boom,
down,
yeah.
and just start
Crisp it
frying
up.
itself.
It fries itself.
Yeah.
Damn.
Because that lard, then you can see like lard, why they cook with lard. Bro, you can pull back that pig skin and scrape that lard right off and throw it in a pan and you're good. And that thing will melt. They say, oh, it's so buttery and flavorful.
Oh yeah, they make cakes and pies out of it.
They used to shorten it way back. Yeah, like shortening, right? It used to be
Was that Crisco?
Crisco, but now they changed it. Now they changed it.
Can?
The blue can.
A while ago, that was vegetable shortening.
Yeah.
Crisco vegetable shortening, but they
Yeah.
also had,
The animal shortening.
yeah.
Because I got a thing of Crisco at the house, and I had to question it. I was like, hold up.
Yeah.
My rib be baking. I'm like,
Back in the day, you used to get down on Christmas.
I'm looking like, wait a minute. You done been baking. And I was like, oh, vegetable. Okay, got it. But she's even getting away from that shortening because it ain't no good for you. You know, all that stuff ain't it's not natural. It's all chemical, man. Right. What else? I like that we're talking about this food because y'all making a cat. Mucho hambre.
Mucho hambre.
Mucho hambre.
Real hungry.
Very hungry. See. Let's see here. They say the same thing about boulet being a delicacy. Right. Boulet is right? They do it in Louisiana, right? The
Boudin?
boudin.
Boudin, yeah.
Is that what he was putting? I think that's what he was putting. Let's see here. All the drug dealers.
So like Boudin.
Dapadon. Right. All the drug dealers with the Dapadon. Right. Esau will have eating Rocky Mountain oysters. Right. Esau will definitely have you eating some Rocky Mountain oysters. Bull balls.
Oh.
Con. I don't think that's a lawful thing to eat.
No, I don't think so either.
It's definitely not a lawful thing to eat. You know, you don't want to. No matter how they fry it and say it tastes like chicken, it's not, and it don't. I'm sorry. Alligator don't. It can't all taste like chicken. Like, oh, alligator, it tastes like chicken. Oh, snake, tastes like chicken.
That's how they get you in them Chinese restaurants.
Yeah, tastes like chicken. Chicken.
But hey,
Fly lice.
the guy I was telling you about, he said him and his wife went to someplace in like China, or Asia, and he said they had ordered. They was asking for the. You know, you go to the mall and they be like orange chicken and stuff. So he was over there looking for that, and he said they started laughing at him. Like,
Yeah, like this is
don't
orange.
serve
This
that.
orange dog
Like,
over
what are
here.
you talking about?
Like,
And so,
if it don't bark, we ain't get.
So look, he said they got some. You know, he asked for some. What kind of chicken do y'all got?
Right.
And so
No,
he
we
was
don't
like,
say that.
they was eating it, and then he said the lady, they had somebody like, you know, at the table behind them or whatever,
Right.
and they brought out a pigeon, and he was like, hey, what? He was like, this is chicken, right? He said, yeah, but it's a small bird. He was like,
It's caught.
No, this is another one.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
dang.
moving through. We caught one. Well, yeah, you know they rolling packs. Come on.
You see it?
You just gonna have one. Right. Menudo,
Make them baby, that's what it is.
menudo, all that. It's moving around. Yeah, we gotta make sure that we ain't dropping too much crumbs. Anyway,
but yeah, he was like, yeah, it's a small bird.
Marcy,
Like
is
small
there
bird.
beef menudo? Yeah, there's beef menudo. Yeah, hey, there's beef menudo. Yeah, you get menudo without. It's
Oh,
just
well, that's
it's just
tripe.
tripe, which ugh. I don't know if you want to be eating stomach lining. I mean, listen, I used to get down on tripe. Listen, in Jamaica we eat tripe,
You definitely try.
but I don't eat it. I don't eat it because I don't think that's lawful. I don't know if that's lawful or not. I'd have to look into that.
Beef tripe.
Yeah, because it's because of what it is. It's the entrails. You know what I'm saying? So I don't mess. I just stay away from it. If I gotta question it, I'm good. I eat chicken, and there's many other parts of the cow you can eat. Right?
Yeah, chicken and them is pigeon in Asia.
Ah, wait,
Is pigeon
are
law?
pigeons lawful?
That's disgusting.
Are pigeons lawful?
I think they are because they was all pigeons would be offered for a sacrifice.
Right. Let's see here. Leviticus, right?
Nah.
Let's see. Leviticus 11.
Nah, pigeons are scavengers.
Or
Those-
doves.
Doves was
Doves.
Doves are lawful. We know that.
Doves are lawful.
Doves.
Turtle doves. Pigeons are not lawful, right?
Yeah, the pigeons are like scavengers.
Well, remember, why are they scavengers? Because every animal in this day and age is a scavenger. Dogs are goats. Goats are lawful, but what does a goat eat?
Eat anything.
Thank you. Your dog, if you don't feed him, will turn into a damn scavenger.
They
Right?
ain't cabbage.
They are, but
Ain't anything.
think about it. When you have a dog in America, he's on an eating routine, right? And he ain't. Dog in America have puppies, care for their puppies. When we had dogs in Jamaica, them puppies came up missing. And we like, man, is people stealing the puppies?
They can dang it.
Them dogs was eating them puppies. They was doing it really out of sheer hunger. I know they do it here, but is it like out of straight just hunger?
Yeah.
You know, dog take a crap, the boo-boo starts to disintegrate, and it's plastic inside the doo-doo. Because they sit there to eat plastic, whatever to fill their belly. Yeah, the pigeons, where's it at? These you may eat every flying, creeping thing. Let's see here. Just to make sure. I mean, you wouldn't want to eat no pigeon anyway. Especially not them New York pigeons. Those are flying rats. Yeah.
It doesn't say pigeon.
It don't, but yeah, we could look. Yeah. What else we got? Is that it? Yeah, man, I'm sorry. The person that asked a question in the last is shut down. I'm trying to think. I don't remember the question. Damn, man. Should have wrote it down. Right. I mean, if that's it, nothing in line, nothing in class? Live?
Sir.
Nothing online? All right, well, we'll end it there. Imadium Wapanya Kwadam. Let's rise and face the east.
I think they're good.
Huh?
I think they're good.
Where you at?
No, I was just doing some research on that. It says they're very thin animals.
Right.
Pigeons.
They might be clean.
Because like, isn't dove and pigeon like the same?
Kind of, yeah.
They are, huh? They are the same family? A dove and a pigeon?
That's what I thought.
The dove is just the white one?
Yeah.
Right. We'll look.
Can we do it?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna look for this. In the meantime.
All right. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Bahashem Yahushai.
Bahashem Yahushai.
Baruch Shemai. Lanawa. Right now. Shalach Ma'aka Allah. And the righteous angels. To Shamar. Barak. Rapah. Protect. Chazak. Ha'ayin. Yashar Allah. Also send unto us. Much wisdom. Much knowledge. Much understanding. Much patience. Much faith. Much brotherhood. And much love. Spiritual powers. And Yahweh. Forgive us of all our sins. Yahweh Shai, come quickly. For in thee is our hope. Always. And forever. Amen. Barakatah Yahweh. Bahashem Yahushai. Bahawa'ab. Talanawa. Hatawara.
It's blessed you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives to us the law.
Barakatah Yahweh. Bahashem Yahushai. Bahawa'ab. Talanawa.
It's blessed you, Yahweh.
No, Salah. Forgive me. Talanawa.
Just restart it.
Yeah. Barakatah Yahweh. Bahashem Yahushai. Bahawa'ab. Talanawa. A war. Ra'ah.
It's blessed you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives to us the light to see.
Barakatah Yahweh. Bahashem Yahushai. Bahawa'ab. Talanawa. Ha'ayo. Quara'ah. Ha'ayin.
The blessed you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives us the ram's horn to call the people.
Barakatah Yahweh. Bahashem Yahushai. Bahawa'ab. Talanawa. Shaman. Zayat. Lamashat. Yashar Allah.
It's blessed you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives to us the olive oil to anoint Israel.
And of course, we'll anoint those that want to be anointed at the end. This is Psalms chapter 92. It is a good thing
It is a good thing
to give thanks unto Yahweh.
to give thanks unto Yahweh.
Sing praise unto thy
To
name.
sing praise unto thy name.
Our Most High.
Our Most High.
Show forth thy loving kindness in the morning.
To show forth thy loving kindness in the
And
morning.
thy faithfulness every night.
And thy faithfulness every night.
Upon an instrument of 10 strings.
Upon an instrument of 10 strings.
Excuse me. And upon the psaltery.
And upon the psaltery.
Upon the harp with a solemn sound.
Upon the harp with a solemn sound.
Thou, Yahweh,
For thou, Yahweh,
hast made me glad through thy work.
has made me glad through thy work.
I will triumph in the works of thy hands.
I will triumph in the works of thy hand.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
how great are thy works.
how great are thy works.
Thy thoughts are very deep.
And thy thoughts are very
A
deep.
brutish man knoweth not.
A brutish man knoweth not.
Neither doth a fool understand this.
Neither do a fool understand
When
this.
the wicked spring as the grass.
When the wicked spring as the grass.
When all the workers of iniquity do flourish.
And when all the works of iniquity do flourish.
It is that day shall be destroyed forever.
It is that they shall be destroyed forever.
But thou, Yahweh,
But thou,
are
Yahweh,
most high forevermore.
are most high forevermore.
Below thine enemies, O Yahweh.
For lo thy enemies, O Yahweh.
Below thine enemies shall perish.
For lo thy enemies shall perish.
All the workers of iniquity shall be scattered.
All the workers of iniquity shall be
But
scattered.
my horn
But my horn
shalt thou exalt.
shalt thou exalt.
Like the horn of a unicorn.
Like the horn of a unicorn.
I shall be anointed with fresh oil.
I shall be anointed with fresh
And
oil.
mine eyes shall see.
My eyes shall see.
My desire of mine enemies.
My desire of my enemies.
And my ears shall hear.
And my ears shall hear.
My desire of the wicked.
My desire of the wicked.
That rise up against me.
That rise up against
The
me.
righteous shall flourish like the palm tree.
The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree.
He shall grow like the cedar in Lebanon.
He shall grow like the cedar in Lebanon.
Those that be planted in the house of Yahweh
Those that be planted in the house of Yahweh
shall flourish in the courts of Yahweh Shai.
shall flourish in the courts of Yahweh.
They shall still bring forth fruit in old age.
They shall still bring forth fruit in old age.
They shall be fat and flourishing.
They shall be fat and
To
flourish.
show that Yahweh is upright.
To show that Yahweh is upright.
He is my rock.
He is my rock.
And there is no unrighteousness in him.
And there is no unrighteousness in him.
By Hashem Yahushai.
By Hashem Yahushai.
This is Psalm chapter 133. Shayar.
Shayar.
Amalawad.
Amalawad.
Ladawad.
Ladawad.
Hana.
Hana.
Natawab.
Natawab.
Wama.
Wama.
Na'ayam.
Na'ayam.
Shabbat.
Shabbat.
Akyum.
Akyum.
Gum.
Gum.
Yechad.
Yechad.
Kashaman.
Kashaman.
Hatawab.
Hatawab.
Al-Harash.
Al-Harash.
Yarad.
Yarad.
Al-Hazakwan.
Al-Zakwan.
Zakwan.
Zakwan.
Al-Haran.
Al-Haran.
Shayarad.
Shayarad.
Al-Payah.
Al-Payah.
Madawathua.
Madawathua.
Katol.
Katol.
Karawan.
Karawan.
Shayarad.
Shayarad.
Al-Harayah.
Al-Harayah.
Tazayawan.
Tazayawan.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Shum.
Shum.
Tazawa.
Tazawa.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
At. Habaraka.
Habaraka.
Hayayam.
Hayayam.
Aid.
Aid.
Ha'aywalam.
Ha'aywalam.
Aman.
Amen. This is Psalms 133. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon their head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard that went down to the skirts of his garments, as the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descend upon the mount of Zion. For there the Lord commanded the blessing, even life forevermore. Bahashem Yahushai.
Bahashem Yahushai.
The water.
The water.
Tamyah.
Tamyah.
Aman.
Amen. Let's circle up. And real quick, we were talking about the pigeons. Yeah, they're lawful. A pigeon and a dove is the same bird, different color. But it tells you in the scriptures, you can read it all through Leviticus. I'll go to this one. Now ask yourself, did we ever sacrifice anything unlawful? La. Leviticus 14. Leviticus 1 and verse 14. And if the burnt sacrifice for his offering to the Lord be of fowls, then he shall bring his offering of turtle doves or of young pigeons.
Oh, man.
Right, so you can go to Leviticus 5:7, Leviticus 5:11, Leviticus 12:6. Right, so
They used to
Pigeons.
put pigeons back in the day.
Pigeons are-
Messengers.
huh?
Send message.
Oh yeah, messengers, yeah, oh yeah. Flipping pigeons, man. They use those to signify when cops, they flip them birds. Watch Training Day.
You know what a bird is, don't you?
Right? The sister asked something about watermelon and chicken. Why do we refer, it says question since the topic, the question came a little bit late. Question, since the topic is food, what is it with watermelon and chicken and black people? I hear y'all say that a lot and never heard of that before. Well, all you got to do, I'll let you do this, look up watermelon and slavery. And then you'll understand why we're so addicted to watermelon. During slavery, they gave us watermelon because the rind of the watermelon acted as a sexual stimulant. So they kept us sexually stimulated so we can create babies, so we can create more slaves. And black people just love Popeyes. So, yeah. Chicken, right? That's what we had. That's what they gave us. It was pork, chicken, and watermelon.
I like the mama chicken.
Right. I don't know what chicken I like. I don't like watermelon, though. Right. I don't eat watermelons. But the rind of the watermelon, for you brothers out there that are having any impotency problems, male impotence, you can blend up the rind of the watermelon or juice it, and it will stimulate the libido. All right? You're welcome.
You know,
You said what?
I that watermelon they got grown today.
Nah, you gotta get seeded.
Watermelon
Back in the day, yeah, but you can still get your seeded GMO.
Them GMO watermelon.
God. Call it.
Minister, I'm Mario. Right.
How about Shimmy outside, rock and thumb?
Kumishwala.
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 Kumishwala. Get him a tie? Nicodemus, man. Not y'all's watermelons. Yeah, I tried it. Call it.
Salute out the daughters of Zion. Minister, I'm Mario. Right.
Yahweh Shemala Dhan, Yahweh Shimmy outside. Get him a tie? Dismiss.
You know,
Let's say-
they grow in the daylight to turn you out.
Let's say shalom to everybody online.
Shalom.
Them watermelons. Hey, listen.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. I just had a baby.
Ooh,
Me.
congratulations.
The watermelons. I ain't gonna lie, I was juicing a lot of watermelon. Yeah. I juiced the rind. Yeah.
That carry chicken.
I juiced the rind.
Keep the Bible on cop. The Most High is my rock. TK. Rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. My rock. The Most High is my rock. In the name of Messiah, the Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. My rock. The Most High is my rock. Yeah. The Most High is my rock. I keep my Bible on top. The Most High is my rock. No time for cupcake and the cutling. Hit the streets and start cutting. The Israelites are bubbling. The Israelites are coming. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. You can keep the stuffing. It's pagan, disdain, it's vain, it's nothing. The European Union about to hit the button. And I feel sorry for you if you think the Lord is bluffing. That's why I hit the booth and I tell the truth. Are you fishing with the truth? Homie, where's your fruit? If the Most High is your rock, don't treat him like a side piece. Come in this truth plan and treat you like a side piece. He's the God of mercy and wrath. So